dates, because there's a lot of games planned, but no dates and no real trailers for some of them either. So it was kind of confusing that Nintendo chose to do this instead, but does it mean that there's not going to be a general Nintendo Direct this month, or maybe even next month as well? It's hard to say, but that's exactly what we're trying to decide and figure out today. Is Nintendo done with Directs for the summer, and are they instead just going to wait until September for the next one? Or do they have one right around the corner and we're just overreacting for no reason? But first, I want to thank today's sponsor, Dbrand, for sending over even more accessories for my Nintendo Switch 2. Dbrand has a new line of Nintendo Switch 2 Joy-Con skins, which are incredibly easy to install. It's simply a nice sticker for your Switch 2 Joy-Con that actually molds into a design for the Joy-Con itself. All you do is line it up with the buttons and press it on and you're good to go. Dbrand sent me a bunch of these, including one of my favorites, which seems to be the blue and red ones, which actually matches the original Joy-Con on Switch 1. It actually adds some pop of color now, which matches the inside rails and, like I said, the original Switch 1 Joy-Con. It also looks and works really well with Dbrand's Kill Switch grip. And they sent me tons of different skins as well, and you can find tons on the website. I mean, there are tons. Where you can even click each design and test it out and see how it looks for yourself before you purchase. And do not worry, if you want to peel these off and replace them or just take them off completely, they peel off very simply and there's no residue or anything left behind. And the second thing I really want to talk about is their Prism screen protector, because trust me when I say, I hate screen protectors. They are sometimes the most difficult things to put on devices, and they always leave bubbles or scratch marks. I hate them. But this is the most brain dead, simple screen protector you can ever purchase, and I mean it when I say it, because I've already tried out 4 different ones for my Switch 2 from different accessory companies. I'm sorry, but none of them are as simple and easy as Dbrand's. It comes with an applicator that you just simply put on the Nintendo Switch 2. You pull the tab in order to apply the screen protector, and then you just slide your finger across the screen that's wide open on the actual applicator. It's super simple and easy, and you wait for all the bubbles to fill, and you're done. If there's any remaining bubbles, you use your little tool in order to scoot them out, and you're done. And the best part is they come with a second applicator, so you don't have to reinstall everything, which is very frustrating. If you want to check out any of Dbrand's awesome products, all you have to do is click the link in the description down below. Ignore my ugly face and reflection of the Switch 2. But huge thanks to Dbrand for sponsoring today's video. Now, the question is, are we done with Nintendo Direct for the summer? Well, I'm kind of 50-50. Some believe so, some believe no, this doesn't mean anything. But we have to look at everything Nintendo did this month, or at least the 2 big things they did this month. Not only revealing a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct, but also they had a Splatoon update for us in like a 6-minute trailer showing off a brand new update, keeping Splatoon 3 alive, and also introducing a brand new Splatoon spin-off single-player adventure game coming out called Splatoon Raiders. Now, why would Nintendo show these things off where they could have just slapped all this stuff into one big Direct? Well, maybe it's because Nintendo does not have a Nintendo Direct planned for this summer. Maybe they feel like they don't need one for some reason, and that's what I'm here to discuss, because I don't understand that logic whatsoever. Nintendo has already sold 3.5 million Nintendo Switch 2 units within just 4 days of its launch, already making it Nintendo's biggest console launch of all time. So why would they want to skip a June Nintendo Direct literally just a month after the console releases? You got everybody excited for this thing, and people were so thrilled about Mario Kart World, but already some people are getting a little bored of the game, and that's just simply because it's not a single-player adventure game that most consoles launch with. But that's alright, because Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out in literally just 30 days. But once Donkey Kong Bonanza releases, we know nothing else for Nintendo's future, and it's very strange that Nintendo has a brand new console and they don't have any other dates planned outside of Donkey Kong Bonanza within the next 30 days. They do have some Switch 2 Edition games coming, like Kirby and the Forgotten Land with its Star-Crossed World Edition, and also Mario Party with its Jamboree TV Edition. But I mean, let's face it, these are old games with some small additions and upgrades just for Switch 2, but I wouldn't even count these as real games. I mean, most of them are launching alongside another first-party game in the same month. For instance, Mario Party, I believe, is launching next month with Donkey Kong Bonanza. So, I mean, they're just like little small additions that we get to play, and they help tie us over until the next major release. Metroid Prime 4 has had the weirdest marketing in my opinion. Not only did it get completely restarted with its development so long ago, but it just seems to be shown off in little bits and pieces instead of just one big proper exciting trailer. It's just like, oh, here's a little bit of gameplay, oh, here's some treehouse footage, oh, here's some screenshots. Like, they don't really show us what we're doing in this game, or like a big cinematic trailer yet, which is very strange. We still don't even have a release date for this game, so it'd be very very strange for one of your biggest games left of this year to just drop a release date on Twitter or just drop a new trailer online instead of actually having it be part of a dedicated Nintendo Direct. Shoot, Dragon Drive doesn't even have a release date yet. It doesn't look like the most.
Okay, today you have rehearsal, photo shoot, or
Dragon Drive. Not this guy again.
Exciting game in the world for me, but still, it's a game that's coming out this year and has no type of launch date. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment had a couple small glimpses of gameplay, but not really a proper trailer yet, and we also do not have a release date for this game either for this year, which is supposed to be probably one of the bigger games later this year. We still only have 3 GameCube games, so I'm sure that they want to, add more to the list, especially for this holiday season. Kirby Air Riders, another game that didn't get an ounce of new gameplay, just a cinematic trailer, and of course the title, which is supposedly coming this year, but once again, no release dates on the table, which is another major game apparently for this holiday. So what is going on with Nintendo? Are they seriously just going to make us wait until random Twitter drops happen throughout the year and show us more information? Is that really what they want to do marketing-wise with a brand new Nintendo Switch console in their first year of games? I highly doubt it. I really am expecting Nintendo to have a Nintendo Direct still, and I think just because Splatoon Raiders was announced and there's a Donkey Kong Bonanza Direct announced doesn't mean that there's not going to be a Direct. If anything, there could be the potential of there's just so many things that they want to talk about and go over. I mean, look at all the things I just listed. It's still so many games to get in one single Nintendo Direct. And something that I keep saying is we still don't have a major holiday game announcement for this year. I know a lot of people are going to be in the comments once again bringing up games that are already announced, but none of them to me are big holiday titles. Pokemon is always accompanied by another first-party Nintendo game. I strongly disagree that Pokemon Arceus is going to be the only Nintendo holiday game for this year, which is already a Pokemon spin-off and it's a Pokemon game. Nintendo likes to have their own first-party games as well for big holiday titles. There's always been one. And personally, I just don't see spin-offs like Hyrule Warriors or Kirby Air Riders doing enough to really win people over as a big holiday Switch 2 game. Like, I can't see kids saying, I need a Switch 2 for Christmas because of these games. It'd still be for probably Mario Kart or Donkey Kong. And Metroid Prime 4 is going to be a dual release game, kind of like Breath of the Wild. It still could be the big holiday game. I could definitely see it happening, but it's almost like you don't need to Switch 2 to play this game, So in my head, I just strongly feel like there has to be some major Switch 2 game that Nintendo is still not talking about, and they have to reveal it, I would assume, pretty soon. Now, I still think Splatoon Raiders could be that holiday game, and a lot of people are like, a spin-off of Splatoon? No way. This is not just any
Switch 2 game
spin-off. This isn't just some small little additional game that doesn't play anything like the original. It's still a Splatoon game, but single-player focus. It's a 3D adventure game, and it might even be somewhat open world from what we've seen in the trailer so far. This could be looked at like a 3D Mario, Donkey Kong, or even a 3D Kirby game as well. This is going to be a lot bigger of a deal than a lot of people think. For people that maybe weren't big fans of the multiplayer online aspect of Splatoons 1 through 3, they can have an entirely single-player focused game and an adventure this time around, and this could get a lot of people in the series and be one of the smartest holiday games that Nintendo's ever released. Maybe for some reason they wanted to hurry up and get that first announcement out so that way they can have another big trailer here very soon. But do I think we're not going to have a summer Nintendo Direct at all? I don't think that's the case. They're once again returning to Gamescom this year, which they normally only do for big years, and of course, regardless, it's a big year for Nintendo. It's a new console, so that could be argued. But still, I do think that they have a lot of stuff planned still for the rest of this year, and I think maybe they just changed their schedule. This is a new Nintendo now. They don't go by a normal schedule that we're always looking for, where we always have a January or February Direct, followed by a June one, and then a September Direct. Nintendo can change plans at any second, so it's something that we have to keep in mind. Nintendo has had a July Direct before, so it's possible that Nintendo might might just want to move into next month so that way they stay clear of everybody else. Or it's possible that Nintendo wanted to get out all these separate directs and, announcements with Splatoon and Donkey Kong Bonanza in order to have a big Nintendo Direct maybe announced for next week. It's hard to say, but I just don't see a world where Nintendo skips all their directs until September of this year. I feel like that's just not enough time to hype these games up and market them correctly. There's no way you come out in September and then throw out some release dates when you're already almost 3 months left of the entire year. This isn't the end of the Switch 1 life cycle. This isn't a quarantine year. This isn't even an off year for Nintendo. There's no reason in the world why they shouldn't have a general Nintendo Direct relatively soon in order to showcase some of these games more, give proper release dates, give proper hype, and maybe even show off more of whatever the big holiday game is going to be this year. Because it's a very important year for Nintendo, they have to keep the hype going. They can't have everybody super excited up until Donkey Kong, and then once Donkey Kong comes out, everyone falls off with excitement. Because there's not too much for most people after Donkey Kong. Hyrule Warriors is a series of spin-off games and the third one in that series. We also have Kirby Air Riders, which is another racing game, which is coming after Mario Kart, and a Kirby spin-off. And Metroid Prime 4 I am very excited for, but will
What's up,
everyone
honey
be that
bunny?
excited for?
What's up, honey bunny?
For a fourth game of a series that ended all the way back on the Wii. So as you can see, Nintendo has their work cut out for them to make sure that they keep fans excited and interested in the lineup for the rest of the year moving on to 2026. But let me know in the comments down below, do you think there's going to be a big Nintendo Direct coming soon? Or do you think Nintendo is just completely skipping this summer Nintendo Direct thing? And if so, what in the world are Nintendo's plans moving forward? Are they just going to have a absolutely humongous Nintendo Direct in September? That would mean they'd have to show off everything coming out in the next couple of months. Hurry up, slap out release dates, slap out last minute trailers, and also show off big stuff coming at the beginning of 2026. I mean, it'd be like a 2-hour Direct. I don't see how that would even be possible, but let me know what you're thinking down below. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and I hope you all have a blessed day. See you guys.
See you guys. How long have you been into the game? Pretty good while, good while.
On Apartments.com, our online lease generator means that you can rent your place faster than you can say duplex. Okay. Apartments.com, the place to list a place. What do you think of that?
Do you need a free and easy way to capture your gameplay? Introducing Outplayed. Record anything on your PC. Highlight reels, let's play sessions, mod showcases, game reviews, speedruns, and anything else on your monitor. Capture your game highlights automatically or with a custom hotkey. Cut, clip, and edit your gameplay to perfection with Outplayed's intuitive editing tools. Share your gameplay footage with a single click. Outplayed is lightweight and
Light it up southbound to White Lake.
Copy. That's stopping 76. Right City, do you have 6? 12, 3, go ahead.
Central 55,
Central 55, we're ramping off southbound 59.
Clear ramping off the 59, 4772, are you clear direct?
I'm 59 at the exit ramp.
Central 55, looks like we're going to be going westbound 59 from 23.
Clear westbound on 59 from 23.
Alright, Central, we're going to be right lane. Heavy traffic, speeds are 45. Looks like he's going to pull the light 59, 123. Still heading westbound.
And for units, it's going to be freshly stolen today out of Washtenaw.
Alright, my guys with sticks, we're coming up on you right now. Speeds are 45, he's slowing down. Looks like he's going into oncoming traffic.
Thank you, brother.
You're going into oncoming traffic, 680, are you clear direct?
Subaru stopped on the shoulder on the left side.
You think he stopped on the shoulder on the left side. Clear one around the six.
One around the sticks. We're gonna be.
47, 44, and 71. They passed 686. They'll be approaching you.
Alright, we're southbound Hughes. Speeds look like 60 miles an hour. We're close to Golf Club. See if I can try to shoot a pin.
They're approaching Golf Club, initiating a pin at 1645.
Alright, PI, we gotta roll over. PI, we gotta roll over.
PI, roll over.
You alright? You're alright? Just you in the car? Is this you? Alright. He's good.
Still in
He's
the driver's
good.
seat?
Yep, still in driver's seat. Alright, break it up.
Sorry, you almost got your head. You good?
Yep. Straight.
I didn't cut you, did I?
Nope, I just poked some. You alright, bud? Alright, we're gonna get you out of there real quick, alright?
Hey, what's up, Red Kendoku? Been a follower for a few years on Instagram. Nice.
Leslie has proof, legitimate proof.
Okay.
That is a lie. I would never endanger my children.
And I'm not saying you wouldn't.
He did. I will see you in court because that is not the truth. Shame on you. How dare you say I would try to hurt my children?
On August 27th, 2022, officers responded to a parking lot following a report of a woman driving with the backseat door open while her 2 children were inside.
How you doing, man? I'm David Chevrolet.
Highway with the door open.
The door came open and we did not do it on purpose. That's why I pulled over in the parking lot.
It's me, Nick. Yo, how you doing, Nick? Nick, I got the Switch too, and it's alright. I got the Switch too, but there's like no good games for it. So it kind of sucks.
Was this the door that came open?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just hang tight for 1 second, man. You can, if you need to correct this, you can.
Yes, sir.
But nonetheless, the door swung open and that's why I pulled over in this parking lot and closed the door. I would never endanger my children. How dare you disrespect me in front of my children?
So we got a call
and say
that
I was
the
a
van was
danger.
traveling
Back up
southbound.
and go do what you need to go do.
And that the door was wide open and people could see kids inside, so it comes off, you know what
It was an
My kids are safe, sir.
Sir?
My kids are safe.
Goodbye. I'm not going to repeat myself.
Is there like something wrong with that? You're good, man. No, just take that. You can point it out.
Don't answer any questions. Do not.
Yeah, he's hanging tight.
Just sit in the car and close the door, please.
Yes, sir.
Did y'all say something was? Is there something wrong with the
Yes,
latch?
it is, and that's why we're going to the auto shop to get it fixed right now.
Okay.
The door came open, and then I pulled over in this parking lot to close it. He's saying that the door was open a long time ago, so unless he has proof, legitimate proof, that is a lie.
So-
and that's why I pulled over in this parking lot.
Okay, you can be loud with him, but I'm talking to you nicely. Like I said, I'm figuring out what's going on. I just got here. Where did you say the door came open at?
Coming down this road, coming right down this road, and then when it came open, I pulled over to close the door, and that's when he pulled up behind me.
Okay.
So unless he has his own video camera.
Well, we have a witness that called in. That's what we're saying.
That is not the case. And
I don't think anybody would just randomly call for a door open.
The door has issues, sir.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing. If the door has issues, that's one thing.
What's the problem?
This is his stop. I don't know what. I'm just going off of what the call was. I'm making sure everything's fine.
Kids are in seatbelts.
Yeah, they are engaged. I would never endanger my children.
And I'm not saying you wouldn't.
He did.
You don't have to make this out of...
No, you're good, man. You're good. Like I said, I'll speak to him. Like I said, we're just going off a witness that called in saying the door was open traveling down the roadway. So just hang tight for a second.
What's going on?
I'm waiting for him. Like I said, I'm just standing by him, his partner.
It's so hot, man. Can I open the door for you?
I can't have you open up the door. I'm gonna have this one open. I understand, man. But just for now, we just gotta hang tight. Just see what's going on. Ma'am, how long have you been having problems with the door? If you don't mind me asking.
I do, and I'm not answering more
Okay.
questions. Sir, what's taking so long? It's hot out here.
I get a tie, but they're talking, so I don't know what's going on.
I'm about to get out so I can find out what's going on. That's why
Well, don't get out now because
Oh, what?
I'm telling you, because he has you pulled over, you can't get out. Danny, she's trying to get out of the vehicle.
What's going on, man? You don't tell me to stay in my vehicle. I don't think so. I'd like to know what's going on.
All right.
There's no incident. Door came open, I pulled over. Y'all got things for bringing out some money back. Of course it's...
I'm gonna wait to get the Switch 2. Nice, nice. Yeah, I only played it like for an hour or so. But Mario Kart World's alright.
Right? Give me my ticket so I can go, please. Okay.
We also need to get the information that needs to be given.
I don't think so. Yes, you're not going to do it for me.
All right. We need to call the protective services about this.
No, I don't think so.
What seems to be the problem?
What do you think is the problem?
The door unhatched.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you guys about it, okay? You need to sit here and wait. All right, there is a criminal investigation that's going on, okay? You understand that?
For what?
About the door coming open while there are children in the vehicle. We are mandated reporters to have to call child protective services and let them know that this happened because there's children in the vehicle. Whether it was a mistake or not, okay? You have to let them know, okay? So we need their ages and their names to get them to child protective services. We absolutely have to get that information. And if you don't give us that information, then we will charge you with obstruction. Are you going to give us that information?
No.
Okay. Then we will charge you with that.
Now, before I even get this far, once we give you the information, right, does that mean we can, y'all calling them, then we can leave, and then we could call them ourselves and straighten the story out? What happened?
Okay, so the way that it works
Yes.
is that we call Child Protective Services, we let them know what's going on, and then they'll get our side of things, and then you guys will do their own investigations if we're in danger. We're not trying to say, oh, you guys are doing horrible things to the children. It's our job to report it to Child Protective Services.
Is it possible you can stand right here while I open up the door so the cigarette won't be bad on the kids, man?
I'm just gonna crack it, man. I usually don't do that, but you're being cooperative, so like I said, I'll work with you if you work with me. Is this the first time it's happened with the kids in the car? Is the door? Okay.
Usually I have it tied up.
Yeah.
What you can see is thin and like.
In social services, they know that our car is having issues.
Okay.
So it's not like they don't know. So if you
Yeah.
guys need to report it, then it's not like they don't know that we have issues with this car. This is our
I mean, we'll make them aware too that you're going to get it fixed too.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're not trying to make things hard on y'all, but at the same time, we have a job to do.
Right. Well, I'm
if
just protected when it comes to my children. And
No, and you're a mother. You should be 100%. 100%. I don't blame you. But at the same time, when somebody sees you driving down the road, and they may have saw it literally right after it happened.
Yeah.
It could have been less than 5 minutes it happened.
I'm pretty sure it was, because as soon as it happened, I was trying to find
Yeah.
somewhere to pull over.
So when we get that call, we just have to literally make contact. If we see it open, make sure everything's fine. But if you're going to get it fixed, then that plays a big deal too.
Social services should know about this car. Hell, they're the ones that said they didn't need to take up the car.
Because at the end of the day, it can be a safety hazard, and I know you know that it can be a safety matter. Like
yeah,
if
well,
this is
the first time it happened.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Of course, it would play a whole different deal if the kids were in seatbelts and this was open. That would have been looked at a lot different.
They was hanging out the side.
Yeah.
I never would do that.
No, because you'd be surprised how many people we pull over and the kids aren't in seatbelts.
Oh my
goodness.
I have a question for you though. If it was a Wrangler Jeep
because it has no doors on it also, would you pull us over also?
So I'd have to look into that. I would, but with it being that's the specified vehicle and that's the vehicle make, obviously. I mean, most of them, yeah, you can take the doors off. Most of them have the half door. With that vehicle make, I see what you're saying, but at the same time, the vehicle's made for this door to be closed. Just as our vehicles, the door's meant to be closed. The door's meant to be closed, it has to be closed. I get what you're saying though. What do you say?
State law. The door has to be closed. It has to be closed by state law.
The door, while operating the vehicle and traveling. So for these, yeah, the doors have to be closed. You can't drive down the roadway with the door open.
Yeah, well,
understandable.
Nobody was trying to do that.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just saying in general.
Like you said, same as a regular.
Yeah, I mean, you got
right
you got a point, but at the same time, it's how the vehicles are made. But I get what you're saying.
Oh, like a T. Oh, like a T-Rex. Three-wheel.
Right. Y'all just hang tight, okay? They'll be done soon. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Forehand, here's your driver's license. So I've got some citations for you. These are your copies. So you're going to be cited 3 times today. You're going to be cited for reckless driving. That's driving with the door open. And you're going to have 2 citations for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 1 for each child. All right. So this is all.
What does that mean, contributing to a delinquency of a minor?
So putting them in danger. Okay. So you've got a court date of September 14th at 8:15. That's going to be.
So you charged me with putting my children in danger on purpose. When you know what I told you, the door swinging open by itself by accident, you still charge your mother for putting her children in danger. Yes, I listened to what you said. And yes, I will see you in court because that is not the truth.
Okay. Well, we've got information that the doors were open all the way from Short Lane. You guys were in the gas station up there. You left the gas station. The doors were open all the way down 17. I saw you with the door open, and then when I pulled out, that's when you closed the door and pulled into here. So I'm going to give you your court date, and then we'll talk about it in court. Okay? So September 14th, 8:15 here in Gloss County Court. That's going to be your counsel determination for all 3 of these. I won't be there at this one. This is just going to be for you to tell the court if you have an attorney or you need them to provide you for an attorney. And then they'll set you a trial date, a hearing date, that we will all be in court. Okay? So these are your copies of all 3. All the information on here is correct. So what I need from you is I need you to sign all 3 of these. It's not an admission of guilt. It's just saying that you understand that you have a court date and that you'll appear in those court dates. Okay? So I'll give it to you one at a time. I'll give it to you one at a time because they're carbon copy.
This game, you're not ready for it.
So right here at the X, okay?
Shame on you.
Hold on. Hey, ma'am.
Shame on you.
Don't snatch from me, okay?
Shame on you for trying to say that will hurt my children.
Listen. I need you to settle down, okay? I need you to settle down.
How dare you say I would try to hurt my children?
We'll talk about it in court, but you need to settle down right now. Okay?
You expect me to settle down?
Miss Forehand?
Miss Forehand.
You have to settle down.
You said I was trying to hurt my children?
I didn't say you were trying to hurt your children.
That's pretty much what you wrote me a ticket for.
Miss Forehand?
No.
You need to calm down, or we're gonna have social services come up here to deal with the kids.
Settle down. Just sign the paper
in front of the kids.
Drive. Give me the paper.
So look, I need you to do this a certain way because they're carbon copy, and I don't want you to sign through them, okay? Just one at a time. Right here on the X on this one. We're gonna do it 3 times. You can't sign on top of them because it'll go through, okay? So sign right here the X.
No.
It's not an admission of guilt.
That's
it's
what it
just
sounds like to me.
It's not an admission of guilt. It's just saying that you will go to court. That's all. It's just stating that you promise to appear in court. That is it. Okay? The pen is right there. You put the pen down.
Give me the pen.
Ma'am, you put the pen down.
I got the pen. Give me the paper so I can sign it, please.
Ma'am, you gotta calm down.
Listen, you've got to calm down.
These niggas I'm gonna trying to lie. I put them in danger.
You got one more time before we have social services come here.
No.
Okay? Are you gonna settle down so you can sign these summonses? It's the only time I'm gonna ask you.
The paper.
So give me the clipboard.
You're allowed to be upset. You're just not allowed to act like this.
Just sign
I can
on the
act
X.
anywhere I want to. You don't control me.
Not in front of your kids. Not on Capstone.
You just pretty much said enough in front of my children. Just give me the paper, please.
Sign right there on the X. Same place on the X.
Is he licensed to drive?
Ms. Forehand, she asked you a question. Is he licensed to drive?
I'll drive my vehicle.
Same place on the X.
I was asking because if you're this upset, maybe he should. That's what I was asking.
Okay, sure. You can drive. And
As long as he's
but if you need to run something, no, I'll drive it. Because we've been sitting here long enough, and my children are hot.
I think he's already been.
Okay, then he can drive. Excuse me. This car was just in an accident 1 day ago. The door opened by accident. I would never have my door open for my children to fall out, put them in breakfast. Instead of you taking my word, you decide to take me to court. What's your name?
Deputy Sewell. It's all on the ticket.
Good.
Okay?
This is the one you ran already. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I apologize for any misconception.
Will it teach me one day? I can try.
She's mad.
She's
You gotta
upset.
understand that.
I understand she's
She's
upset.
a mother.
She's allowed to be upset.
I understand she's upset.
Thank you.
All right, drive safe.
Okay, you're gonna need to subpoena that lady from those services as a witness.
Yes.
Because her story said that.
Yeah.
Later, officers were dispatched to Walmart after receiving a report of the same woman shoplifting with one of her children.
Hi. Hi. I need to speak with you again.
For what?
And if you want to send him over to the car, I can talk to just you by yourself. It's because something happened at Walmart. We don't need him to hear it.
Okay. What happened at Walmart?
Do you want to send him with the others?
No. Come on.
Foster, it's going to be Ken beforehand again.
For what, ma'am?
I will talk to you, but I just don't want to do it in front of your child, okay?
Do what?
Miss Foreign, I will speak to you, okay? And it's going to be just me and you. But we're going to wait until, and then I'm going to let you leave. I just have to speak to you real quick. And it's about something at Walmart. Okay?
At Walmart?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Ma'am, why
Got through their park on, I believe, aisle 4. What's that?
Excuse me, wait a minute.
Miss Forehand, I told you I would talk to you. I just don't want to do it in front of your child, okay?
So what, arrest me for something
I'm not
I didn't
going
do?
to arrest you. I'm not going to arrest you.
So what do you need to
I
speak to me
just
about?
need to speak to you, and I don't want to do it in front of your
Speak to me
child.
right now.
Okay. Then I'll speak to you right now, in front of your child, which is what I was trying to avoid earlier. However, you have now been banned from Walmart. You are absolutely not allowed to come back. If you come back, you will be charged with trespassing, and they're probably going to charge you with larceny because they have you on record as stealing to self-checkout. Okay? Okay. Now you've been told, so if you come back, you'll be trespassed.
Okay.
Understood?
Noted.
Can't come back.
I'm fine.
I'm sorry. Good. You're welcome to leave now. I told you I wasn't going to arrest you.
Give me your hand, please. Leave.
I'm at Walmart.
Don't follow behind me.
We're not going to. If you want to have her walk towards the car, I will speak to you by yourself.
What's going on?
Walmart asked us to respond. I had no idea who I was responding to.
Okay.
And they've asked for her to be trespassed. She's no longer allowed to be on the property, and she's not allowed to come back. If she comes back, she will be charged with trespassing. And that is because there's going to be an open case for larceny.
For larceny? What did she steal?
I don't know that. I didn't get those particulars because you guys were leaving, so I had to come and catch her. Mr. Smith, I don't know. It's not that I won't tell you, so I don't know.
I think Abby wanted to tell you guys something. I think they did steal something.
Okay, we'll just have to add it to whatever case you guys are working.
She was eventually arrested and charged with shoplifting or altering merchandise under $1,000 and contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Sync your RGB devices to your favorite.
But we know that the president is weighing different options at this point. So what would you say if you were in a situation right now?
Well, first of all, I have to say, I think it's great we feel this way. We're fighting with whatever we have. And a lot of what we have is from the United States.
They can teach you, bro.
See two cases where even the most experienced police officers were completely unprepared for what happened next.
Sheriff's office! Hey, Sheriff's office!
Yep.
Did you guys call? Where's Kyle at?
He's in the house. He's okay. He had a panic attack.
Alright, the EMS is here. Want to check some out, alright?
He says he doesn't want to be seen now.
We got to make sure he's alright, okay? Because if he's overdosing on anything, we don't want him to die.
He's not overdosing on anything. He was having a panic attack. His sugar glider just died.
Man, I'm just telling you, I need to go in the house. If EMS wants to check him out, okay? Alright? Alright, just hang out down here for me, alright? Kyle! Kyle! Sheriff's office, we're here to help. Are you able to open the door and let us in?
I don't have a key.
You don't have a key? Alright, well we need to make sure he's alright. We're not going anywhere, man. We gotta make sure you're all right. Just come to the door. EMS wants to check you out. They were just inside. They just don't want to let me in because they know he's got a warrant. So that's why they don't want to let us in.
I can't let you in.
Yeah, but you're his dad. You were just. How do you know him then?
Friends.
Friends. Okay, well you just came from the trailer and now you closed the door. You can let me in. So is he taking cocaine or what's he taking that he's feeling that way? They're saying that he's conscious and breathing and alert but don't want to let us in because he knows he has a warrant and doesn't want to go to jail. So that's the dilemma we're at. You're under arrest. If you don't open the door, we're gonna bust it down. So here's the deal. So we need to talk to him and make contact with him, or we're gonna kick the door down and we're gonna go in there, okay? All right, Big Buck, she's gonna let us in this side. Where would he be at if he's in there? Because we need to make sure he's all right.
Can we just sit right here?
Ryan and Kyle, keep getting me, Kyle. 60, we'll be making entry.
He's not in here.
So we gotta clear the residence, okay? Did you mention leaving at all, going anywhere?
No.
At this point, I'll have you just wait outside, and we're gonna clear the residence and make sure, because I don't know what's gonna happen. He said he was on cocaine.
He said he thought he was having an overdose on cocaine.
So this is Mom. She owns the trailer. She let us in the door, and she believes that he's still in here.
What?
This is just precautionary. So.
Okay. All right. Can you just wait outside for us, just on this entryway? I just don't want anything to happen. All right.
Sheriff's office, now here to check on your welfare. There he is. You got him. Hey man, it's Deputy Huth. We're just here to check on you, buddy.
Just show us your hands around the corner, man.
No. Can you show us your hands, buddy?
You just show us your hands.
Shoot me. We're not going to shoot you.
We're not going to shoot you.
We don't want. We just want to help you, man.
60. We're in contact with him inside.
Okay, we're just making sure you're okay. Can you show me your hands, buddy?
Why?
Because I just want to make sure I go home to my family, and I want to make sure you go home to your family. No,
show us your hands, dude.
One person.
Cooperate, please.
Sandy, just go shoot me then.
No, we're not going to. Why would we shoot you?
Dude's got a laser pointer out. Might as well just end it right now.
It's not a laser. Well, it is a laser, but it's not for shooting people.
So, is there a taser at the end of that laser?
Well, we don't want to do that, buddy. We're here to make sure you're okay.
And I'm doing just fine.
Okay, can you just take your hands out just so we can see it?
No.
What's your name?
I don't have one.
But you also have to understand I got a job to do, right?
And your job, am I okay? I would say yes, I'm okay. So job successfully completed.
All right.
Brian, look at me, okay? You're under arrest at this point, okay? We're telling you that right now. You're under arrest, all right? We were here to check you out. Just show us your hands. Hey, get down!
Bro.
Show us your hands! Show us your hands!
No, man. What the f am I being arrested for at this point?
You have a warrant for your arrest, okay?
Dude, no. Absolutely not. No.
All right, you need to show us your hands right now, dude.
Someone better take your hands off and wrestle me right now, bro.
We're not going to do that, man. We just want to settle this.
No. How about I talk to this guy?
We listen to Mom.
Mom?
Kyle? Kyle?
I need a good shot at it.
You have no idea right now, bro. I'm just not even in the mood, bro.
Kyle?
Get him.
Please don't. Can you please cooperate?
Just cooperate with us, man.
Dude, no, man.
You should get him.
What is there to cooperate for? So I go sit in a f***ing cop car?
Kyle?
Last chance, man.
For what?
It sounds like you're
Just talk to us.
Bring my mom here, man.
She's talking to us right now. Just go down and you need to show us your hands, man.
Bro, no, man. First off, the ambulance is called and I haven't even seen an ambulance guy.
You got a shot.
Dude.
Say something.
Taser!
Hands behind your back!
Behind your back! Bro!
Hey, come on!
Give us your hand!
Bro,
Stop! Stop resisting!
Stop resisting or you're going to get knee strikes, okay? And I don't want to do that.
Why'd you have to call the cops right away?
I didn't. I called the ambulance.
That you know damn well who comes with
You told me to call them.
No, I didn't!
Tyler, you did.
I told you no! Alright, man. Are you hurt?
Yeah, we got EMS here, okay? We'll check you out. We gotta just search and make sure no weapons, so let's roll them towards us.
That's my mom.
What are you doing, man?
Man.
Let's stand them up.
Ready?
1, 2, 3. Go to your right.
I wanted to see my mom get my glasses.
Here.
I don't trust any of them.
He's got them.
I need to
You got them right here. Dude.
Hold on, bro. I'm trying
What
to
are you reaching for?
You already searched me my keys, bro.
We can worry about that later.
Give all this on my mom. I've been jumped by cops so many times. No, man, I don't trust any of you. Y'all in a gang together, bro. You guys are the biggest gang in the country. You guys are
Stop identity thieves in their tracks with a fast and free credit freeze. When your credit information is frozen, no one else can get a loan or credit card in your name.
Just stop right here. Alright. How much is that bond for resist?
$263.50.
Oh, for resist, that's what? 4.
Resisting is 3.
Do you have like $550, $600?
But I have that much money. I didn't even resist. You guys just barged in on me. What the did I do to resist? Take all your chest cameras to court right now.
Alright.
How? That is pathetic. And you know damn well it is. So just a ticket, huh?
Because you resisted us. We told you you're under arrest. You said you wanted to fight us. You told us we should take our badges off, and you wanted to fight with us right there.
You don't even know what the kind of weekend I've had.
Well, I'll chat to you a little bit more in a bit, okay?
Did he break anything in there that you have criminal damage property charges, or does she not want to?
He punched a wall in there when he was behind there, like kicked it, so I haven't looked in there to see.
Whose house is it, Mom's?
It's Mom's house, yeah.
If she wants to press charges, I mean.
She probably won't, but can you stand by with Mom inside yet?
I talked to her already.
Okay. So did he break the wall at all that she'd want criminal damage? Doesn't care.
She doesn't want to do anything?
DC, resist, and the warrant.
Road, off of Town Hall Road.
He's got a felony open.
Can we at least talk about the charges I'm getting right now? Like, I did not resist.
We got resisted, obstructing, it's a misdemeanor. We got disorderly conduct, misdemeanor bail jumping, and felony bail jumping, and then you have your warrant. That's where we're at.
How? But I'm not even in my right state of mind right now. I'm freaking out.
Right, we're gonna go get you some help, okay?
Bro, come on, man. Keep turning the light off, dude. Like, come on, dude. Bro.
Kyle was charged with disorderly conduct, resisting arrest, and both felony and misdemeanor bail jumping. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
What's up, buddy? What are you doing?
What's up, bro?
Huh? What's up with you? Huh?
Not much, bro.
Not much? What you doing?
Not much.
Huh?
Not much. I thought you were,
Thought I was what? What are you doing? Don't quit moving around.
Hey,
What you got in your hands? Huh? What's your name? What you doing out here?
You saying you waiting on my friend?
You waiting on a friend? Who's your friend?
You know?
No, I don't.
I said, Nuno.
Nuno. Okay. You got anything on you? No. You don't mind if I look in the bag?
Yeah.
All right.
What you been up to, man? When'd you get out?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Did you bond out or?
No,
Rick.
they released me out, but I'm actually going to rehab tomorrow.
Oh yeah? Cool.
You doing good? You got anything on you I should know about? You mind if I check your pockets? All right, get up.
I just put everything that I had in my pocket.
Empty your pockets right here.
So can you stop now?
Huh?
Can you stop now? Now that you're checking me?
Hang on, I'm gonna check your pockets, right?
Is that a cigarette case?
No, it's a money case.
Oh, money case. Yeah, you got a bag of change and you got money?
Yeah, my mom's been looking out for me.
That's nice.
Hang on. Keep your hands right here. Keep your stuff right here, buddy.
Why are you checking all of my stuff though? You already checked all my bag. You said my bag. Alright, we're gonna be cool after this. We cool after this.
Sure.
No more harassment. I take that back.
What's this?
For my bike.
Can I see that?
No. You just said that we were done. You just said we were done.
What do you mean? Hey.
What's in the container?
Just open it.
Nothing. I just don't want y'all to
What's in it?
searching me and stuff. And y'all had just told me that we were good.
No, we're not. What's in the containers?
There's nothing in the container.
Okay, so let me look and we'll be out of here.
But you just told me we were good.
Okay, that's fine. I was just calling the dog.
Okay, call. Alright.
You're gonna make us get a dog out here and just sniff your stuff.
Yes, because this is disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
You went through my entire bag, didn't find nothing. Searched my entire body, didn't find nothing.
So it's not in the thing that you are just palming harder than anybody I've ever seen palm something before.
I just simply don't want y'all to keep on doing this and make it happen.
Alright, so have a seat down there. We're not gonna touch it, nope. I'm gonna tase you! I'm gonna tase you!
Alright, I'm sorry. Ow.
Flip over. Flip over. Hands behind your back.
I'm tired of y'all harassing me all the time, 24/7, man.
Well, you gotta be dumb, Braden.
What do that for?
Man, you're on probation for drugs.
Bro, I'm trying to get my life together and y'all sitting here harassing me. Well, what did I do?
You ran.
Because y'all won't leave me alone.
Where'd your little thing go? You know, you shouldn't have thrown that bag at me either, man.
What bag?
Your bag that you threw back at me.
I didn't throw a bag at
Yeah, you did. It was all on body cam, brother.
I promise I did. I grabbed my backpack and I ran. Because, bro, I'm tired of y'all simply always talking to me. And simply last time that y'all talked to me, you simply locked me up.
Yeah, because you had a bunch of drugs on you.
Baby, that's a decent amount of meth, huh?
Is that?
That's not mine.
You just threw it!
I just picked it up in the laundry room, though.
Alright, we'll check the cameras.
Literally, I just picked it up.
We'll check the cameras, it's okay.
I just want to go to rehab and make my mom proud.
How are you gonna go to rehab when you got a...
Bro, I had one day. I'm literally, they're picking me up in the morning and sending me away.
So when you pee at the rehab facility and they test you right off the bat, it's gonna be clean?
No.
No, I know it's not.
Literally, my probation officer knows this too because I failed and she knows that I fucked up. That's why I'm going to rehab. So
When did you fail? When did you you last pee for your probie?
I went yesterday.
Yesterday? What all's in that tin?
I just picked it up and opened it up.
Okay.
Alright, so you don't know what's in there?
From the looks of it, I could tell right from a second glance it was ice.
Okay.
Ice.
Okay.
I don't want to go back to jail, bro.
You still got to go to trial for that, right?
I don't want to go to rehab. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
They're going to slam me with me.
So when you ran from us, that is obstruction of justice, okay? That's his bag, and then his stuff was in here. You throw anything in there before Officer Salazar made entry?
I just got here. As soon as you walked in the door, I sat down.
Where do you keep getting all your drugs from, man? How come every time we find you, you got a bunch of drugs on you?
None.
Nothing?
How much is in that tin?
It's a good amount. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
That's months a year.
All right now.
Now, what we just saw is two prime examples of why you have to have a sharp and quick mind as a cop. But let's be honest, in real life, you cannot follow a script. Like our first case, and I have been here often, we walk up with a clear strategy. We're looking where our closest cover is, and we're making sure that our backup, if on scene, truly has our back. Because sometimes they don't, but that's another story. We have some concerned people.
No, it's up barely enough.
They called the police over Kyle, who possibly OD'd. But this sometimes shows the lengths that people will go to avoid accountability, because Kyle knew exactly why he didn't want police in there. And to make it plain, in my opinion, Kyle might have been confused from possibly taking drugs. And when police hear a suspect say, "Shoot me," it's not something you could ever take lightly. But what stood out to me was the calming demeanor of these officers. Just a firm but respectful conversation. Now, in the end, I believe he brought being tased on himself. But what those officers showed in that hallway wasn't just control, it was actually a blueprint. Now, in our second case, did you guys see how fast that switched from calm to crazy? But how body language always always tells the truth before words ever do. And when the officers walked in the laundromat, the guy played it cool. He had a soft voice, he was relaxed, and he even exchanged a little small talk. But don't be fooled, because this guy was sizing him up the whole time. But if you watch closely, this guy did realize when the officers were onto him, and his whole demeanor did change. Now his choice to run wasn't random. It was stupid, but not random. But the pain, confusion, and regret is typical. It always happens, but a bit too late. People run from the police every day, and thankfully, this was barely a foot pursuit. Because the police work is not always who you're talking to. It's about what that person is willing to do when they feel cornered, because they don't always run.
Alan was charged with possession of drug paraphernalia, obstructing official business, and tampering with evidence, totaling a bond of $6,000. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might not know is performance and durability go right along with it. You see, we test, and then we test again. World-class engineering and rigorous testing to ensure our tools perform at the highest level and stand the test of time without testing your wallet. Now, it's time for you to put us to the test. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
You can't play me, rein me in, or try and tame me. It's time to push yourself first. Don't stop believing your worth. Let it rain on you. Put your fabulous. Hello, Moto.
Right now, the jury in the Karen Reed retrial asking the judge about a possible hung jury. Here we go again. And that's how the first trial ended. She's accused of killing her boyfriend and Boston police officer John O'Keefe.
Bloodhound, bloodhounds.
Fetch me that song. Head full of drama, we smoking nada. Black leather on the jeans and the Honda. Don't compromise, lame brother. Got a couple chains, less drama. Head full of drama, we smoking nada. Black leather on the jeans and the Honda. Don't compromise, lame brother. Can I feel the pain? Space Strada. All blues on me, bitch, I'm toxic. I'm a shorty motion prick, you better watch it. This is not it, this is logic. Growing different types of shrooms in my closet. I got 50,000 drinks in this carton. I'ma stab that pussy up like it's Spartan. Wanna feature with me, you can't even bargain. I'm forgotten, steady rotten. If you want, I got 50 on this car key. Going up, can't nobody fucking stop me. Rolling up in your city. You can't get into the show, it's a pity. Can't fuck with you innocent till proven guilty. I got green, clean money, but I'm filthy. Really awkward, really weird, and I'm witty. Gotta ask me for permission before filming. Head full of drama, we smoking nada. Black leather on the jeans and the Honda. Don't compromise, lame brother. Got a couple chains, less drama. Head full of drama, we smoking nada. Black leather on the jeans and the Honda. Don't compromise, lame brother. Can I feel the pain? Stay Strada. Head full of drama, we smoking nada. Change in my heart.
them with the 6 or the 14 months. Let's freaking go check them. Much appreciated, brother. Let's go. Watcher.
I don't care if you call me a stalker. 3 a.m. I'm outside, I'm walking. Out here striving, I'm just looking for some water. Nova gang, we creeping, yeah, we lurking. I'ma ride, I'ma die for my brothers. Hit the gas, then speed off, I'm racing. Ran into a pole, pulled a Paul Walker. I don't care if I'm evil, I'm a scumbag. Walk up in the house like I owned it, cause I'm up next. If you text me, don't expect me to reply back. I don't wanna talk, I'm rather awkward and I'm off track. Shoot a flare in the sky to show some victory. I'ma blow up with all my brothers right next to me. Hit the spot and make it go down in history. Took a pill, I'm shaking, I'm nervous, I'm jittery. I just made my money, made it faster. I don't got no pity for you bastards. I wish your bitch we took a pic, you better ask her. Drama over money, little boy, it do not matter. Back then, all I was laughter. 2020, baby, pockets getting fatter. I'm in the world, but be ready for a rapture. Wait until I'm finished, boy, you can have it after. You be song with the house, with the goons. Hey, I am not no winner, baby, all I do is lose. I got waves right by my side, eat up the stick and click on you. I was travel different planets, out of Saturn, that's my dude.
Oh, that feels confusing. Makes sense.
Wait, if you were detained at any San Bernardino juvenile detention facility, such as High Desert or Gilbert Street...
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, the reason I stopped you is your headlights aren't on right now.
Oh, they just went out.
Oh, they just don't work?
Yeah, they just went out. I'm DoorDash right now.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is my last order.
Okay, cool. You got a driver's license on you? Cool. Alrighty. Any firearms in the vehicle? No? Alright. Hang tight, alright? Hey, what's up?
Anything?
Dispatch received. Not yet. Just there's no headlights.
Okay. Alright. I'll go through. Cool.
Right.
So no headlights, huh? Yeah, they just went out. Did they? Yeah. This is my last order, DoorDash. Anything good tonight on DoorDash? Yeah, it's busy. Really? It's a Thursday, late Wednesday night, early Thursday. It ain't even the weekend.
Go ahead. Can you advise the caller to meet us at the Dollar General?
What's the biggest tip you got tonight?
Top $10
so far. That's not bad.
It's different. That's the keyboard you want?
Yeah.
The blue one?
No, the pink one.
Pink?
Yeah.
That's not a good color.
Well, it's the only one that works good. Yeah. You're back already? Alright. Buy it, bud?
Right. Can you really make a lot doing DoorDash or not? Yeah, I done made about 100 in a day. Really? Yeah. Dang.
Hey, so I don't know, man. Like you've been stopped numerous times without headlights, so it looks like it's been.
Huh? Yeah.
Issue. I just look at prior stops. You've been pulled over quite a bit.
Yeah, because I had one headlight out, so they approved, and I had just one.
Okay. Is there anything in the vehicle we need to know about, or no? All right. You mind if we take a look?
I don't want my car.
What's that?
I don't want my car.
All right. I just don't know. I don't know if I'm comfortable.
I mean, I could go straight home. You could love me home.
I just don't know if I'm comfortable you driving the vehicle without any headlights. You know what I'm saying? So, you have a ride? Can come get you? No. All right. Where do you live at?
Porter's Path.
Porter's Path. All right. Because I don't know. Like, there's no. I mean, here, you want to get out and take a look, see how dark it is?
I just looked at it before, and it's like, it's all like orange. Orange, I feel like the orange would be cool for right now. Just feel lost out, like, to where I was going.
Yeah.
This is my last order, and I was going home.
I got it. Yeah, I see you've been, like, arrested with a firearm in the past.
Oh, no.
No firearms in the vehicle, though?
No.
Alright. Do you mind if we take a look, see if there's any firearms, just real quick?
I don't want my car being searched.
Alright, if we do tow the vehicle, we do an inventory of the vehicle as well, yeah. So I guess just to cut to the chase, like if we end up doing a tow inventory, are we gonna find a gun in the vehicle? No. All right, man. Just hang tight, all right? I'm gonna see, because if it was daytime, it wouldn't be an issue, but there's no lights on it, so. Alrighty. I'm sorry. Where do you live at again? Okay, what are the crosses on that? What are the cross streets on that?
What you mean? That's like Exchange.
Okay, just right up there?
Yeah.
Alright. What's up with the lights? Why don't they turn on?
What you mean? Oh, because they just went out.
Okay. Alright, hang tight real quick, alright? Hey, Colin? Yeah, go for it. Alright, man. Hey, look, I hate to be that guy, but the thing is, like we barely saw you coming the other way. You have no working headlights, so. I know, but the thing is, if you leave here and you get in an accident without any headlights, and we had stopped you, and it's kind of like on us, you know what I mean? So. There's no way no. So, we'll just do this quick. We'll take you where you need to go. All right, we'll give you a ride. All right, man. All right. Yeah. So, all right. If you want to go ahead and get on out, we'll take this quick. All right. All right, so I hate to do that, but what's that? Your phone?
No, like the
order. The DoorDash order. I don't know. If you want, where's the DoorDash order going?
It's going around the corner. The hardest thing.
I'll tell you what. Like I don't mind. Yeah. If you want to go ahead and get on out, we'll try to make this quick. All right. But if you want to go ahead and take the phone, and
I got my PlayStation and stuff in here too. So like,
yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
If you want, I can put them in my cruiser. I'll just drop them off DoorDash.
Okay.
Take them home.
Well, yeah, if
in my district.
If you don't mind doing that. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So my car got to get impounded or something?
Yeah, it's gonna get towed, unfortunately.
Yeah. So like, how much would I have to pay to get it back?
I mean, I don't know the exact dollar amount, but I'm just a ballpark area, probably close to 100.
Yeah, let's get over here off the road. So we're not in the other river. But yeah, you just go with this officer here.
Yeah, I just got to patch it down before I can put you in the back of the cruiser, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. We do this to everybody. But yeah, just go ahead, walk up here, and then I'll put you down.
Did you have the keys on you? Yeah. Is it okay if we just get like the actual car key? Because it's just gonna make it easier for the tow truck driver.
That way they're not like dragging it up on there. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Some light.
Oh, I'm in my house key. I think you can get it. Oh. Well, if he's getting that, I'll just have you kind of face the cruiser. I do this the same way with everybody, okay?
It's our policy. Anybody gets in the back of a police car, we just make sure they don't got any weapons on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Alright, cool, man. Did you grab your DoorDash order?
I got his DoorDash order.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Don't want to leave money there. I'll turn on a light here in just a second, okay? Sorry about that.
That's the one you want?
Yeah. Buy it? Alright. You know what to do, right?
You don't want your PlayStation in it?
Yeah. Click the pay card. What? The Google Pay. Let me double check as well.
What?
Let me double check.
Check what?
You're buying the right one. We're going. Bud.
Nothing, man? No, it's cool. You sure? Yeah. Alright. Wait, actually, yeah, I need You want your PlayStation? Yeah. Where's that at, man? Wait, is it? I think. No, it's cool, fuck it, I don't really care. You sure? Yeah. Okay.
That old phone laying around, you could toss it, sure. Or recycle it. Don't add to the scrap heap. Get paid for that old phone at ecoatm.com.
Care Bird. No, thank you.
Underwear, shorts.
Order that, got stopped by the police or something like that?
Yes,
Be like, hey.
Thing or not?
Yeah, what?
You want the thing or not?
Yeah.
I'm gonna order it.
Alright, make sure it's the right one.
Hey, yo, I don't think you realize the trouble I went through to get this rallies.
Man, bro. I don't know. How's they allowed to search my car if I said not to?
So it's not a search. It's a tow inventory. So what they're doing is they're just documenting everything that's in there. So like your PlayStation, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they have like it's a tow sheet form. And they put everything that's all in your car in that tow sheet form.
For real?
Yeah. So that way, like.
So would I get it or?
So what was that?
Would I get the form or no?
So you'll go down to the info desk at the police station. I just had a brain fart there. Sorry, man. You'll go down there at the info desk at the police station and be like, hey, I need my card.
You want to unlock the door? All right, man. I'm gonna take this. All right. All right. So.
Is there any guarantee that if the U.S. did get involved militarily, that a U.S. bomb could destroy Iran's nuclear program and facilities? Do you think if the U.S. got involved militarily, it would actually wipe out Iran's nuclear program, or where's your assessment of that? Look, wars can spiral out of control. Alliances can be marshaled. War is unpredictable, and we should always, as I do, I hope today your team approach this with humility. But as of now, the ask, the demand, and the cost is not high. And taking out the interest that Americans might have of an avowed enemy in Iran. But the good news is, the president does seem to define America first. He is not he is not philosophical about this. He is strategic in making deals that serve America. Vice President Chime laid it out well today. He said, look, I'm seeing this from the inside. Now, I'm admittedly biased towards our president and my friend. There's a lot of crazy stuff on social media, so I want to address these things directly on the Iran issue. First, police have been amazingly consistent over 10 years that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The president has shown remarkable restraint in keeping our military focused on protecting troops and protecting our citizens. He may decide he needs to take further action to end Iranian enrichment. That decision ultimately belongs to the president. And of course, people are right to be worried about foreign entanglements after the last 25 years of idiotic foreign policy. I believe the president has earned some trust on this issue. I echo that sentiment. This president of the United States does understand an analysis of what it takes to arrive at the conclusion of whether or not something serves America first. Let's continue the conversation now with journalist and author, Sargon and Foundation for Defense of Democracy President Cliff Ray. Thank you for being with us here today, both of you. I'd love to start with you. Do you think any military action in Iran serves to answer the question of whether or not it serves America first?
So first of all, thank you for that very beautiful opening, Will. You really nailed it. I think Secretary Marco Rubio put it really well in his confirmation hearings when he said that every decision made by this administration would be in response to asking three questions. Does this make America safer? Does it make America stronger? And does it make America more prosperous? And the way that you laid that out, Will, was exactly in response to those three questions. Obviously, supporting our ally defensively against a foe, I think, meets the standard of those three questions. Regime change, I think, obviously does not. And the question is, where is the line there? And I just completely agree with the Vice President. President Trump has earned the right and
I was like, why am I in Lumbridge, bro? Why am I in Lumbridge, bro? I was like, go outside. Bro, I was like, why am I in Lumbridge?
First, let me just, hey, Snakes. Yeah. You want to come on out over here real quick?
Yep.
So first off, just need you to relax, all right? So.
What's up?
But we're gonna have you get on out of the car, okay? Go ahead, step on out. Put all this stuff up here. All right. So hey, go turn around for me, all right? Some handcuffs on you, all right? Give me a little light.
Gotcha.
All right, put your palms together. Yeah, so go ahead and sit back in here. Oh wait, let me just make sure you don't got anything on there. I'm gonna read you your rights before I ask you anything, okay?
Alright. Just double locking them so that way they don't get any time.
Alright, go ahead and have a seat back in here, okay? I need help.
Legal firearms. I don't do
Illegal
that.
firearms?
Yeah, I don't do
Okay.
that.
Where did you get them at?
Barberton, pawn shop.
The pawn shop in Barberton? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. And you have been arrested with the gun a couple of years ago, right?
I wasn't charged with that.
You weren't charged with
It
it?
was just the people I was with, so I was the driver.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19. Okay, so, okay, I got you. I mean, you're not old enough to.
What you mean?
You're not a qualified adult.
For a shotgun, it's 18. You gotta be 18.
Is it a shotgun?
Yeah, it's a
Is
shotgun.
Okay. I'll take a look, but I just wanted to, before we do all that.
Yeah, and then they ran my background check and all that, so.
Okay. Well, I mean, as of right now, what's going on is when I asked if there's any firearms, you told me there wasn't, and there are some in there, so.
I thought you meant like illegal, and then I didn't even remember if those were in there because I just left my girl's house, so I had to move everything out of there.
Okay.
So that's why all that was in there.
All right. Hang tight, all right? I'm gonna go take a look and see what this is. Like to reiterate, during the tow inventory, we found the firearms that. When I asked if there was any, you said there was not. So doing the tow inventory, because your vehicle's lights aren't working, we found the firearms. So just hang tight, all right, man?
Okay. Alright, so here's what's happening, man. You're too young to... Number one, you didn't disclose that you had a firearm in the vehicle to the officers, right?
Oh, yeah.
You had two. So that's problem number one, right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I forgot because I thought I dropped everything off when I went to my mom's house.
Okay. So that's the first issue, right? Is that you had not told the officers that you had a firearm. Which is, that's a pretty big deal. Number two, you had a loaded shotgun in the back.
My clip was in.
Your clip was in, and then there was one in the chamber. So that's where we're at right now, because that's a whole different story, right?
Yeah, okay.
Because
Can you put it down in the parking lot and have a prayer, please?
I know it's weird, but it still counts as accessible to the driver because your seats fold down. So that's where. What was that?
They do?
Yeah, your seats fold down. Yep.
I didn't know.
Okay.
So.
608 West Market Street, please.
By the eyes of the law, it's still classified as accessible to the driver, and you're not allowed to do that in the state of Ohio.
Copy. Thank you.
Why is Initiate going for so much?
Rice, I eat sugar on my rice, and I got it from. I be getting rice from China Star, my chicken and rice. It's old, but I just have it in my car just so, like, you could taste it. It's old, but.
I mean, it does look like sugar, so. I got you. Alright, man. Want to move into our car? You don't have to, I'm just, if you want to get out of here.
Out of the way. I gotta drop off that DoorDash.
I mean, you don't have to. You can put the DoorDash in that car there. By all means, if you want to go ahead and just put it in that car before they leave.
It's like 2 minutes away. I don't care.
If you don't mind, okay. Go for it, then. All right, man. Go ahead and get on out. Watch your step out. Over here. Hello, sir.
Hey.
Do you have anything on you that these gentlemen may have missed?
No, sir. Okay.
One second. It's going to be uncomfortable for just a second, okay? Okay. Good, step down. Sorry about the bumpy ride. Huh?
I gotta stay home tonight.
Seems like it, yeah. Good. Just look at the window.
Right there for me, bud. Anything you need to see a nurse or a doctor about? Don't feel like hurting yourself, correct? I need to cover and pillow. Help me.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I love you. Open up your mouth. Back and grab yourself a pair of shoes.
Style or
Brian?
Dude,
Nope.
don't come up here.
All right.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not in the mood. You come around that corner,
I have one. I got.
I'll kill you. I'm not playing.
That's fair.
You better just go if you want your family to see you tomorrow.
On the evening of May 26th, 2025, the Morrow County Sheriff's Office received a call from a man in distress. He told dispatch that his brother-in-law, 53-year-old Brian Wilson, had just opened fire on him, and although he wasn't hit, he was most definitely shaken up.
My truck got shot.
Your truck got shot?
I believe so, yes.
Do you know who was shooting?
Yeah, his name's Brian Wilson.
Wilson?
Yeah, Brian Wilson. No, I went there because my sister-in-law, he called my wife yelling at her. I went there to talk with him, and he come out with a pistol in his hand.
Okay.
And he ended up shooting at my truck.
Okay, you're not injured or anything?
Huh?
You're not injured or anything?
I'm not injured, no.
Just after 7:30 p.m., Morrow County Sheriff's deputies Rinkler and Daniel Shearer were dispatched to investigate. Deputy Rinkler headed over to the Groovy Plants Ranch on County Road 15 to speak with the caller, whilst Deputy Shearer travelled to Brian Wilson's home on County Road 26 to speak with him.
So, is there issues going on between you and your brother?
It's brother-in-law.
I get that.
There's never been a problem.
Okay.
My wife called him because he put something on Facebook, and she wanted to call him and get straightened out whatever they did. And he started cussing her out and everything. And I said, "You do not talk to my wife that way." I said, "I'll come over and we can talk."
Okay.
I get there, he came out with a gun. He goes, "You need to leave." He got in the truck. As I'm getting in the truck, he fired at my passenger side.
So how many times did he shoot?
2 clips. I don't really know how many bullets went flying. But I got caught one here.
73. I have multiple shots been fired into the truck.
One here. Here.
So far 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Leaving.
Okay.
I don't see anymore.
Okay, is the truck registered to you?
Yes, sir.
38597. John Victor Noor 5518. John Victor Noor 5518. So you pulled in the driveway, got out, he told you to leave.
He started hollering through the window, and I said, "Come outside, we need to talk."
Okay.
I wasn't going to go to the door. I was still in the driveway.
Alan Budunat out of Galena, 2017 Chevy, gray in color. Expires 6 of...
Close enough.
Correction, 5 of 26. 45-year-old male. He'll be valid. Negative 15.
You're clear.
He said, "You get out of here." I said, "That's fine." I turned, I was on my truck, and as I was getting in, he started firing, so I dropped out onto the ground. And I heard that he was done shooting. I jumped up there and started the truck, backed out. His wife was standing in the driveway too.
Okay.
My sister-in-law, my wife's sister. And so as I turned, backed out, and started to head, I guess it's south.
Okay.
He fired across the road, and there's a lady's house right there. I'm kind of worried about her. I don't know.
We'll go over there and check on her too.
But yeah, he fired another round of clip,
Okay.
and from what I could see, after he was done with that, it looked like he was loading another one. And
So you saw the gun?
Yeah.
Handgun?
It was a handgun.
Okay. Color? Did you see anything?
I didn't see.
Okay. All right. I get it. I'm just trying to figure out the best.
I seen gun, and I was getting the fuck out of Dodge. That's
Okay.
all.
I get that. What was the posting on Facebook?
It was about their dad.
Okay.
He's up in a hospital in Lima.
Okay.
Possibly dying.
Okay.
And he goes, it couldn't happen to a better man.
Get irritated.
And
Okay.
it irritated, you know. I just don't, and the way he was talking to my wife, I just want to come here and talk to him and say, look, you don't talk to her that way. If you want to come over and we can hash it out, talk like human beings, let's do it.
Okay.
I'm not coming up here to fight the guy or nothing. That's what he thinks.
Okay. You didn't make any threats to him?
No,
Nothing?
I didn't.
Okay.
No, sir, I didn't.
What did you say anything besides let's talk about it and kind of
Let's
situation?
come outside and talk to him.
Okay. All right.
That's all I said.
All right. Did you have a gun? Did you fire back at all? Do you have a gun on you?
No, sir, I don't.
Nothing in the car? Okay.
5900 938, check out.
I'm all right. You can cancel checks on me. Okay. So, I'm going to get some pictures of your car. Obviously, I got to go down and talk to the other half, obviously. And then we can go from there, okay?
Be careful, sir.
Okay. So, is he normally like this? Aggressive?
I've never seen him like this.
Okay. And what's his name?
Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson. All right. So do you mind writing a written statement?
I don't mind writing a written
Okay.
statement.
So what I'll do is I'll get some pictures. I'll get you started on that. We'll go over and talk to him, and then I'll come back and get you the finalization of what's going on, okay? Is that fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. All right. Give me a second. I'll get you stuff. Go ahead.
Do you want me to respond as well? They're getting multiple 911 right now.
What are they getting? 73, you all right? $38.59. What's the other 911s coming in?
They're all coming in right now from the same address. Same callers from last time. Seating officer down at this time. Dispatching squad now.
You're clear.
As Deputy Rinkler began to gather photographic evidence to build a case against Brian Wilson, he received an alert from dispatch that multiple 911 calls were coming in from his general area. When he asked what they were in relation to, dispatch told him that witnesses were reporting that an officer was down after shots had been fired at Brian Wilson's address.
Now I know a sheriff was out at the house and the guy shot the police officer.
Okay. Can you see him breathing or anything?
I'm not anywhere near. The guy still has a gun. I live across the street.
This guy is shooting at somebody and screaming at somebody.
Okay. What's the address?
My address is 99 County Road 26. I don't know the address right across from me. It's on the corner of 26 and 15. It's a small gray house.
Okay, I apologize. I'm getting a bunch of different addresses.
So this is his house.
Okay.
His wife's across the street.
Okay.
When I got home, my wife's the one that called me.
Okay.
We were at my dad's having a cookout and all that. But anyways, I've talked to him a couple times. He's on the back porch directly across, sitting there. When I walked over to talk to him the first time, he had a family member that come up. He started screaming at them. I noticed a gun sitting right next to him. The magazine was out of it. I moved it for my safety, so I could talk to him to try to de-escalate and kind of find out what's going on, so nothing else kind of hopefully escalated. I went back over to check on my wife. I come back over to check on him right before you pulled up, and the gun is no longer in sight, and he's also making comments. It's all domestic with his family, but he's making comments as far as, if he was to die tonight, he'd be okay with it. So I don't know if there's any intentions. I wanted you to make sure that you knew all this before you went up there, that I have no idea where that, it's a black 380.
Okay.
I just don't know where he put it once I come back over here.
Okay.
I just wanted you to be aware before you walked up there to into anything.
How has he been with you?
Me? Good.
Okay.
He's been okay. It's more of a family issue. He said he just wants to be understood. There's been a lot of, sexual abuse with his wife, all that type of stuff with his family members. But that as far as with me, he's totally fine. But I've never had an issue with him in the past.
Okay.
But it sounds like the neighbors over here witnessed gunfire exchange between him and his brother. I don't know where the brother went. But yeah, that as far as, and I think he's been drinking.
Okay.
I can definitely smell alcohol.
What's his first name?
Brian.
Brian. Does he go by Brian or?
Brian.
Okay.
Brian Wilson. I believe.
After speaking with a neighbour who actually was the captain of the fire department, Deputy Shearer began to head over to Brian's home to speak with him. As you've just heard, the fire captain explained that Brian was indeed armed, but ultimately he would be okay to interact with, as his frustration had been over the circumstances surrounding the initial domestic dispute, not with anybody else. Which, for those of you who hadn't caught on yet, was about some comments Brian had made on Facebook about his wife's father. He claimed that he, who was currently dying in hospital, had abused her from a child. Remember, those are just allegations though, and from my understanding, no investigation into her father has been opened. So yeah, Deputy Shearer was about to head over to Brian's to have a chat with him and assess the situation. However, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think anyone could have expected what was about to happen next.
Brian?
Dude,
Nope.
don't come up here.
All right.
I'm fucking telling you right now, I'm not in the fucking mood.
What are you not in the mood for?
I'm not in the mood because my wife has been sexually abused her whole fucking life from her dad.
Can we talk about it?
Her cousins, everybody, and all of a sudden now her dad's dying, and I say something,
Brian has
and
the
I'm
gun.
a fucking piece of shit.
Okay.
Fuck that shit.
Brian?
You don't fucking come around that corner.
I have one
I
at
will
gunpoint.
fucking kill you. I'm not fucking playing.
That's fair.
You better just fucking go if you want your family to see you tomorrow.
He has a gun on.
You got no idea what I'm.
All right, Brian.
Get the fuck out of here now.
Can we talk about it?
You.
Where? Where is he?
He's on the porch.
Who is? Where's the shooter?
He's on the porch.
The shooter is? Where's the gun? Where's the gun?
I don't know. He said he threw it.
Where's the shooter?
He's on the porch screen. I'm with you.
Give me your hands!
Ryan, hands up now! Where's the gun?
It's down. I'm sorry. I don't give a fuck. Where's the gun? It's down. My hands are up. Please help me, please. I'm sorry.
3859, I got multiple gunshots. 2 victims, one's gonna be our...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Roll over!
Okay. I know. I'm sorry. Please. I know I hurt so bad. I'm sorry.
Is he alright?
I'm sorry.
3859, start me at 29. I do have a firefighter on scene saying it's gonna be a code 16.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
38, 29 is already en route, coming from station 39.
I'm sorry. Ow! My shoulder's broke. Please help. Oh, God. Oh, fuck.
Is anybody else here?
No, I don't.
Who else is home?
Just puppies. Just puppies. I'm sorry. Ow.
Oh, how did he die with HP left? As he died with HP left, that's so weird.
$38.59. If you haven't contacted 1, 2, 3, 50, 46 as well, also get BCI over here for an officer involved shooting. It appears he's going to be a 16.
Okay. Your officer's down.
Yeah.
He's gone. I need EMS for him, but I don't give a fuck.
Copy. Can you revise your
I want you to know, you tell me when they can come in.
Okay. What's ETA on EMS?
Are they able to come in? I'm under. Yes. Multiple extremities. How old are you?
Say we're staged. We're sending him in now.
How old are you? Brian.
You're coming in with a 6-minute ETA.
50 something? Yeah. Please help me, sir. I'm sorry. Please help me. I just want to survive. My hands
Brian's
hurt
going to be
so
a
bad.
50-year-old male. Possible multiple gunshots to arm and leg. At this time, that's what injuries I got. Breathing, alert, oriented, talking to me.
Please help me.
You're for 1956.
I don't know if you guys any other
my
injuries.
hands, please. I would love that.
One leg.
Thank you so much.
Now, I'm not done doing your arm. Just make sure he has no other injuries.
Thank you.
We'll test it.
Thank you guys. I love
Maybe.
you guys. I'm sorry.
Yep. Blow her stomach.
Please help me.
I said, you guys see anything?
Yeah, we saw everything.
Okay.
I had not heard of fractional real estate, and I did some research online, and I saw.
I'm so sorry.
That's a hell of a lot to walk in on, bud.
Okay.
He asked us if we saw anything, but
Yeah, they don't.
It was a 22. They're the same grade.
I don't know what the caliber. They're small. It looks like small caliber, but I mean, it'll depending on where you get hit, it'll go right through this stuff.
Oh, really?
I think up top. There's nothing up here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I gotta do my job, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They heard.
They started talking.
Well, it started
came
when
out.
we heard the clips.
He got out of his car. The sheriff.
No, let's start with we heard the fire.
Well, okay, yeah. So I'll start at the beginning. He shot at the wife's brother's truck. He unloaded.
Whose wife? His wife's brother?
His wife's brother.
Brother-in-law.
It'd be his brother-in-law.
He unloaded like 2 clips.
Yeah,
from
he
the
shot 2
pickup
clips
truck.
at his pickup truck. So then she walked over here, and we were talking to her.
His house got shot.
Right. He talked to me about
William called the sheriff.
Okay. Where was the shooting at? Here? The original shooting?
Yeah, it was at their house.
Okay.
And he was pulling the truck out of their driveway. He unloaded 2 clips. And then they left. She walked over here, talked to us. We called the sheriffs.
And he proceeded to scream and cuss and yell from his porch for 20 minutes.
And then,
seems like a long time.
yeah, the sheriff rolled up. He was in his car for a minute. He got out, got in the back of the car. His car. I don't know what he
Well,
was
this guy came over.
Oh, yeah.
So the fire chief lives here.
What?
Yeah.
Fire chief.
He's a
He's a
paramedic. He's a captain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he went over and talked to him.
I said he called in and said he had him somewhat calmed down.
Yeah, he had him calm down, and he literally, as soon as my husband went over there, he started just bawling his eyes out, telling him the full story. And then my husband scooted the gun away from him. And then when a few minutes later, when my husband went back over there, the gun was gone. He didn't even see it. And then when the sheriff came, yeah.
The gun came out.
The gun
Say,
came out.
were you guys watching when the shooting started?
Yes, so he was talking to him. The sheriff was hiding behind the house, around the corner.
Yeah.
And he's screaming a bunch of different things. Said, I'm not in the mood.
I know.
If you come any closer, I will kill you.
And I said, I know.
And they just started shooting at each other.
He said, you will not see another day if you come closer to me.
And then he shot, and then the sheriff
The guy said that?
Yeah.
Brian said that
Brian.
to you.
And then the sheriff shot it. He was on the ground, and they continued to shoot. It was just each clip each.
Brian, you shot first?
Brian definitely shot
Brian got
first.
up and started walking on the.
Yeah, he walked.
walking
He
on
got
the
up and walked
towards the
towards. And I don't think the sheriff saw him. He shot first, and then the sheriff fell to the ground and started shooting.
So they're here all day.
Yeah.
Got your ID on you? I need it.
Hey, let me call you back sometime. Yeah. It's not as good as you think, bud. So let me call you back. Alright, bud. Is he?
The deputy? Not good. They no pulse looks light rhythm. They're it's not.
Well, I came home and I was like, I can talk to you about Yeah, and then he just proceeded to scream and cuss from the porch. I could never hear it.
The fight, brother?
I kept checking my Snapchat location to see if there was you coming. You're sitting in my
I got told, I got told not to come until, wait, I can't. What's your phone number?
567.
I'm sure I could get off my phone, but we're just gonna do it this way.
231 9096.
Who was all outside? Was it Tim out? You, Tim, William?
Shay was out here for a second. His wife was out here with us.
Whit's wife?
No, his wife. I don't know her
You know
name.
where she went?
She said her boss was coming to pick her up, and she started walking that way. I think she got picked up by her boss. Went back
Did
to
you
her
ever
boss's
see
house.
the brothers truck drive by?
I didn't see the color.
I saw. Well, he called in and said he was sitting down there, but once this all went down, we don't know where he went.
Yeah, she said that she got a hold of his wife, I think, and said that he was okay. But that's when we called the sheriff. We called you guys.
The body cam footage of the shooting itself hasn't been released for obvious reasons. I wouldn't show it here anyway. But according to neighbours, shortly after it cuts off, Brian opened fire on Deputy Shearer. A bullet hit him in the chest, which made him drop to the floor. He then returned fire and Brian was hit as well. Body cam footage resumes when backup arrives. The scene is pure chaos. The fire captain has attempted life-saving measures, but fears that Deputy Shearer is near death, if not already gone. EMS would need to respond as quickly as possible if there was any chance of survival. Although they arrived relatively fast, their efforts were unsuccessful. Tragically, Deputy Shearer succumbed to his injuries. Brian, on the other hand, would make a full recovery after being treated for his injuries in hospital. He's since gone on to be charged with 14 counts in relation to the incident. The most serious of those, 2 counts of aggravated murder. His bond has been set at $5 million. Morrow County Prosecutor Andrew Wick has stated that his office will be seeking the death penalty in this case if Brian's convicted of the most serious charges. In a televised press release, he said that the decision came after consulting with Deputy Shearer's family and local law enforcement. As this case is still fairly new, that's pretty much all the updates we have. So keep an eye out for this one if you are interested in this case, because you want to bet as the news starts to gather surrounding it, it's going to pick up a lot of traction.
Thank you, brother.
The RGB on this gaming setup is reacting to the Valorant spike timer. You can do this.
Victim's advisor, he's been shot. You got a lot of blood.
Three times.
Where were you shot?
Stomach. 3 times.
Who shot you?
I'm gonna die.
These breathless pleas for help were made by 31-year-old Mitchell Jones Jr. after he had been brutally attacked and stabbed over 25 times. As the detectives dove into the investigation, they would uncover a number of puzzling leads, including foreign DNA.
As I opened the door, I seen passive spatter on the floor.
An abusive partner, and the car the killer drove, caught on camera.
We see a black vehicle backing out of the victim's driveway.
But they hit one dead end after another, and they began to worry that maybe the killer had gotten away.
It becomes very frustrating, and it puts the big question mark, are you going to get a solve, or is this case going to go cold?
However, when nearly all hope seemed lost, a new form of technology would emerge, giving them one final clue that would crack the case wide open.
If it wasn't for this new piece of technology, I don't know if we could have solved this homicide.
At 9:30 p.m. on November 23, 2018, a critically injured Mitchell Jones Jr. made a heartbreaking 911 call.
Oh, I guess I'm dying. Oh.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened, sir. Tell me the address.
I'm dying.
Sir, I need to know where you are. Okay, you said someone was still there. Are they still there?
Yes.
Can you tell me if anybody has a weapon?
Yes. Oh.
Officers from the Cobb County Police Department rushed to respond to the scene in Marietta, Georgia. When they arrived, they found his front door wide open.
Cobb County Police? Cobb Police?
The officers entered with caution, unsure of whether the attacker was still within the house.
Cobb County Police? Alright. Let's go up. Cobb County Police, taking something back here in the house.
But they were about to hear the most chilling cry that would send shivers down their spine. They found the bedroom locked from the outside and forced their way in, but nothing could have prepared them for the gruesome scene that lay before them.
Victim's advisor, he's been shot, we got a lot of blood. Where were you shot?
Three times.
Who shot you?
The bedroom was a horror show. The walls were bathed in blood, the room itself was in complete disarray, with broken glass everywhere and clear signs of a violent struggle. But what was most chilling was the sheer intensity of the violence, a scene straight out of a nightmare. Someone had really wanted to kill that night. And that's when, at the foot of the bed, they found the victim, 31-year-old Mitchell Jones, barely alive. Every breath seemed like it could be his last, but his survival offered a rare opportunity for detectives, a chance to hear directly from the victim. But his answer would only lead to more questions for the detectives.
Go get that neighbor next over there.
Do you know who was in here with you?
Yeah, he took my cell phone.
Rather than giving them a name, Mitchell kept repeating that his attacker had taken his phone. In the meantime, paramedics and more officers arrived at the scene. While the paramedics did their best to stabilize Mitchell and rush him to medical care, Detective Sarah Penarelli and Detective Carrie Grimstead began their investigation. As they took in the crime scene, two things stood out. First, something at the front door caught their eye.
As I opened the door, I seen passive spatter on the floor. I know that the incident took place upstairs. There was no way that that was the victim's blood. That had to have been left by another person.
The cops had hit the jackpot very early in the investigation. They had the attacker's DNA, which was a crucial piece of evidence. However, little did they know that this was just the beginning of the most twisted case they would ever encounter. It was collected and stored, ready to send for testing. But there was something else at the scene that the detectives found noteworthy.
The candles were lit. There were bottles of water. When the officers found him, he was in his underwear. So this is more of a romantic relationship or somebody really close to Mitchell.
It seemed very likely that whoever the culprit was, they were someone Mitchell was romantically involved with. This made the theft of his phone all the more significant, as police were now sure the attacker had taken it to cover their tracks. To learn more, they would now have to speak to those who knew Mitchell and see if they were aware of who he was involved with. They knew where to start as well. Mitchell's next-door neighbor, whom he had mentioned in his pained cries, could hold the key to the entire investigation.
Is it Mitchell? Oh, God.
It was right at this moment that she revealed to the police who had been visiting Mitchell on the night he was attacked.
You saw him with another man for the young female you saw there? She's saying another guy was with this guy. And that's gay, from what she's saying, and that this car had been here a lot.
Another neighbor recounted how Mitchell often had his friends over, and they would sometimes be a little loud. But that night had been different.
But that evening, the noise got a little louder and a little rowdier. Then I heard the banging on the walls. I remember thinking, sounds like they're fighting.
Finally, Mitchell's mother put Detective Panarelli in touch with one of his close friends, Jasmine, and when they spoke to each other, she had some intriguing information for the detective.
Hello? Hey, Jasmine. I know you and Mitchell were very close. Yeah, I'm just so wow, like. I know. I just didn't know what's going on, like. I'm very sorry. I know it's hard, but hey, listen, I really need your help. Was it for his industry or something? Like, I know he didn't just open the door willingly for that boy. Who is that boy? It was his old boyfriend he used to mess with. Mitchell really didn't want to be with him, and I don't know what happened.
The relationship was not a healthy one, that this male had been abusing Mitchell, that there's been physical altercations in the past, and that he was kind of very controlling.
She said that just 3 weeks before the attack, Mitchell had broken up with this unnamed boyfriend, who she only referred to as that boy. But who was this mysterious figure with whom Mitchell had been fighting? With Mitchell's phone missing, how were the police going to identify that boy? It seemed this boyfriend held the key to the investigation, and to find him, the police would have to dive into Mitchell's past. Tragically, despite the best efforts of the medical professionals, Mitchell Jones would succumb to his injuries. Mitchell Jones Jr. had moved to Atlanta with the hopes and dreams of becoming an actor. When questioned, his friends and colleagues gave the police some key information about his social circle.
He was a good person. The people he worked with said he would help anybody out. But at the same time, we also learned that he liked the bad boys.
Had Mitchell got mixed up with the wrong crowd? As police looked into who he may have been with, they learned that Mitchell had been young, single, and actively dating, having registered himself on multiple dating apps. This meant that anyone he may have contacted on these apps was now a suspect. But then, something happened that would change the entire face of the investigation, taking it from a savage attack to a sickening act of murder. Now there was a killer on the loose, so Mitchell's body was sent for an immediate autopsy, but the results were unexpected and horrific.
Postmortem examination of Mitchell Jones. What was determined was they were all sharp force trauma or puncture trauma, most likely caused by a cutting instrument.
The violent and manic nature
You can drink it once every 5 minutes, squad.
of the crime further emphasized that this was a crime of passion. The detectives needed to find this boyfriend, and they needed to find him fast. They had sent the foreign DNA found at the crime scene for testing against the CODIS database, but the testing would take a few weeks to be completed. While interviewing Mitchell's neighbors, officers would discover that one of them possessed a security camera that pointed right at Mitchell's driveway. Could this heinous crime have been caught on camera? On the night of the murder at around 9:30 p.m., the time when Mitchell placed his 911 call, the CCTV footage showed a black Buick Lucerne pulling in and out of the driveway. The footage was too dark to spot the license plate number, but knowing the make and model of the car was a completely unexpected new lead that would now take the investigation in a new direction. Investigators looked into Mitchell's exes and acquaintances who they were aware of to see if any owned the same car, but could find none. Having hit another dead end, they turned to other avenues of investigation. Mitchell's cell phone could have likely solved the case in minutes, but since they did not have it, they did the next best thing. The officers located and accessed his social media profiles. They were about to uncover something that had the potential to get them the answers they craved. They received a photo of Mitchell's elusive boyfriend from Mitchell's friend Jasmine. Mitchell had sent her the picture, and in it, many of the suspect's tattoos were visible, which detectives hoped could aid in identifying him. Detective Panarelli began to comb through Mitchell's Facebook. hoping to find someone who could potentially be the boyfriend. She saw that he had the phrase, "Rest in peace Brandon," tattooed on his torso, and on a hunch she ran a search for the term RIP Brandon on social media, but even she could never have expected that it would reveal the identity of their mysterious suspect.
I found a Facebook page that had the hashtag Rest in Peace Brandon, and when I clicked on the profile, it showed the same picture of that boy.
The search turned up the profile of Eric Hopkins. The detectives had finally located Mitchell's boyfriend and were sure that they were about to unmask a killer and end this case once and for all. When the detectives looked into Eric and his past record, they learned something that chilled them to the bone.
He had stabbed a former lover in a domestic type dispute. So it was a very similar incident. We also learned through talking to people that he was very quick to anger.
Eric's anger issues, coupled with his past conviction, clearly highlighted that he was capable of committing this extremely violent murder. The detectives decided that it was time to bring Eric in.
Hello.
Hey, Eric?
Yeah.
We need to talk to you about some things. Well, don't know whether you know or not, but Mitchell Jones, he was killed a week ago. Yes, sir, I am. I hate to tell you this over the phone, but we know you two were in a relationship, and you may have information that can help us in this investigation.
You guys are going to have to speak to my attorney about all of this, because I don't really want to be put in the middle of it.
And that's not a problem. I mean, get your attorney, but we need to speak to you, like, today.
You won't be able to speak with me today.
Okay.
I'm not answering any more questions until there's a attorney present.
This only made him seem even more suspicious to the detectives. They also learned that Eric had an arrest warrant for a probation violation. This was simply too good a chance to pass up, and they made their move, hoping to make Eric reveal his evil secrets.
Eric was very calm during the interview. He provided us his phone, provided us information who he was with, and what location he was at during the time of the murder.
The detectives were shocked by his cooperation. He willingly provided everything they asked for, including a DNA swab. The swab was sent for testing, but the results again would take time. His alibi for the crime was checked and found to be real. The detectives were frustrated that their best lead had hit a dead end, but seeing Eric gave them one more idea of what could have occurred.
Mitchell Jones was very athletic, and he was a lot larger than our prime suspect, Eric was.
Capacitor cores check is okay. Fusion cores are prime for ascent. Copy that. The team is ready to release the hold in T-minus 2 minutes. Verification check to proceed with ascent sequence. Platform systems, propulsion. Go. Guidance. Go. Tether. Go. Environmental. Go. Maglev track. Go. Payload integrity. Go. Skyhook systems. Anchors. Go. ECS shielding. Go. Threshold monitor. Go. Capture systems. Go. Umbilicals. Go. Range orbitals and clear to proceed. Go.
Transit is green. Skyhook is online.
So we knew possibly there was another person involved if it was Eric.
With this new angle in mind, they now began to look into Eric's known friends and associates, hoping to uncover his sinister partner in crime. When they obtained his phone records, they saw that his most contacted person in the weeks leading up to the murder was none other than Mitchell. But looking further, they saw something more. The second most called number was someone named DeAndre Fleming. Could this be the accomplice they were looking for?
Now our thought process is, did Eric have DeAndre drive to Mitchell's house and kill him for Eric, or they were both there?
On December 11th, 2018, they decided to go speak to DeAndre in person, and when they reached his residence, they would see something that made them sure they were in the right place.
Another detective and I drive to DeAndre's house, and as we're walking up to the driveway, we see a black Buick Lucerne. The same vehicle we saw on video surveillance from that night.
The detectives entered the home, positive that they were about to nab their man, but when they asked him whether he knew Eric Hopkins, DeAndre said he had no idea who this was.
Now we're kind of thinking, okay, is he lying, or, you know, do we have the wrong DeAndre?
Perplexed, the detectives decided to show him a picture of Eric, wondering if his reaction would betray his lies. But what DeAndre did next was something they never saw coming.
Right as he saw the picture, he said, "Oh, I play video game with that guy," and immediately recognized him.
They realized that even though DeAndre and Eric played video games together, their number had only connected because he used his phone as a Wi-Fi hotspot. While this cleared DeAndre of any suspicion, it had also set the detectives back again. Their prime suspect and his most likely accomplice both now seemed to have no evidence pointing towards their involvement. But just when the detectives were losing hope, they got back crucial evidence that they hoped would crack the entire case wide open. 3 months after Mitchell's murder, the DNA test results from the blood at the front door came back.
Wish you AGS Smite, that'd be nice.
The blood was not a match to Mitchell, meaning it definitely belonged to the killer. But just as the detectives were getting their hopes up, they would be dashed again when they discovered something shocking. The test results showed that the blood was not a match for Eric Hopkins. Their prime suspect was cleared. There were also no matches in the CODIS database, meaning now they had no new leads to follow.
At this point, I feel very upset because I thought we were so close. There was a lot of time put into finding Eric Hopkins and then learning that he's not the suspect. That was very frustrating because now I knew we had to start from zero.
At this time, detectives Penarelli and Grimstead would often discuss the case with other detectives within the unit, hoping someone would be able to sniff out a new lead. One of these was Special Agent David Ricey. Now looking for new avenues of investigation, the detectives decided to pivot. They had received Mitchell's cell phone records, and they decided to see if they could use these to track down where his phone could be, as they hoped they could retrieve data from the phone that would point them towards a new suspect.
What we found is the last known location based off of pings and based off of cell site data was in downtown Atlanta. That's very telling to us. How did the phone get there? Did the offender just throw it out the window? Did the offender take it back to his house?
The location of the phone was narrowed down to a vacant lot in downtown Atlanta. Detective Grimstead, hoping against hope, searched this location. But here too, they turned up empty-handed. Despair was beginning to set in as the detectives wondered if they would ever solve this case.
So it's very disheartening. I'm running out of information.
Everything seemed to be coming up empty. With every passing day, the case seemed closer to going cold. But then, just when all hope seemed lost, a revolutionary new technology gave the detectives a glimmer of hope. In March 2019, 4 months after the murder, the detectives of the Cobb County Police Department were having a meeting to see if there were any new approaches they could take to solve the Mitchell Jones case. It was in this meeting that Special Agent Ricey mentioned a new technology he had heard recently about in a cell phone investigation training program with the FBI.
And in that class, I learned about something I hadn't heard before. It was the term geofencing.
A geofence is a virtual perimeter that is set around a geographical location. If the location and timing of a crime is known, then the investigators can ask technology companies to provide them with the users within this perimeter at that point in time.
Every technology company collects end user data for advertising purposes, and law enforcement is simply exploiting that, saying, hey, give us that information so that we can solve a crime.
Our cell phones are a connection to the world around us, and even when they're not in use, they're attempting to utilize the different technology that's around them, whether it's cell towers, whether it's GPS information, whether it's Wi-Fi routers. And what we learned is that cellular carriers as well as Google actually collect some of that data.
When cell phone carriers and tech companies collect this data, it holds the location of the devices within that geofence at that time. Now that the detectives had this tool, they decided to apply it to the case of Mitchell Jones Jr. In this case, they already knew the location, as well as the time of the attack, since Mitchell had placed the 911 call himself at 9:30 p.m. They set a virtual perimeter around his house at the time of the murder and sent requests out to some major companies for their data.
So I submit a geofence search warrant to Apple, Google, and Facebook. Google responded back to us with evidentiary information in this case.
Google was the only company to respond with the data, but that would turn out to be sufficient as the cops were about to achieve their biggest breakthrough yet. They now had a list of all the people within 500 feet of Mitchell's home in a 45-minute time range around the murder. Now it was up to them to find the killer. They were able to narrow it down to 4 people who were within the geofence at the time of the murder. After receiving their subscriber information from Google, they began to eliminate these people as suspects one by one.
2 of them were elderly couples, and they lived in that area, on that street. We felt that they just weren't physically capable of committing this type of violence.
Of the 2 remaining, one was the right age and physical stature required, but they had no prior criminal history or record. However, the last one left, who had also been closest to Mitchell's house according to the data, was a vastly different case.
The last one left had the right criminal background that would fit our offender. He had prior aggravated assaults and he had prior thefts. His device went into the crime scene, it pinged multiple times, then it left. It fit perfectly.
They finally had a new name and a new suspect to look into, Donta Holmes. This name was about to change the course of their entire investigation.
Who is Dante Holmes?
Now that they had a name before making any move, the detectives had to be sure that this was their man. So they began to look into every possible way they could connect Donta to the crime.
We learned that he had a criminal history of prior aggravated assaults and he had prior thefts. And so he fit a potential offender of a crime such as this.
They already had the geofence data that placed him near the scene of the crime. Next, they looked at his family and known associates and made a shocking discovery.
And I learned that his mother also owned a Buick Lucerne. That was a car he drove all the time.
The evidence was stacking up nicely against Donta. Next, they looked into his phone's location history, and what they found would only further implicate him in this most gruesome of crimes.
Dante Holmes' cell phone gave us basically the route he took to go to the murder scene and leave the murder scene.
They also found a photo on his cloud storage that had been uploaded on the night of the murder that all but sealed the deal. In it, Donta appeared to have a bandaged foot, and detectives were almost certain that this was where the blood near the front door had come from. With so much evidence all pointing to Donta, the investigators rushed to bring him in for an interrogation. But they could not have anticipated how the interrogation would unfold. On April 12, 2019, almost 5 months after the murder, Donta Holmes was arrested and brought in for an interrogation. He agreed to speak to the detectives without an attorney. He also agreed to give a DNA sample for testing, which the detectives collected. Then they began to question Donta.
What I want to talk to you about is Mitchell Jones. Do you know Mitchell Jones? No, sir. There would be no reason for your phone to be at Mitchell Jones's house.
No reason?
No reason. No reason whatsoever. If I told you that was not the correct answer, what would you say to that?
That it was wrong?
You're not being honest with me.
Initially, Donta seemed to be calm enough in the interview, giving off the air of someone who knew of no reason why he should be there. But then he admitted to Detective Grimstead that he used to come up to Marietta to meet someone.
Is that the gentleman you met? That's him? Okay.
You didn't even know his name.
Was just a hookup?
Yeah, it was just like a hookup.
Well, it's surprised you to know that Mitchell Jones was killed.
Oh, y'all ain't trying to say I killed him. Cause I don't know. Me and dude had no bad blood, period, whatsoever. We never even got to arguing about it. We never got to fighting. None of that. All we ever did was hook up.
Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, targeted military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons. In recent years, Iran has produced enough highly enriched uranium for 9 atom bombs. 9. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear enrichment program. We struck at the heart of Iran's nuclear weaponization program. We targeted Iran's main enrichment facility in Natanz. We targeted Iran's leading nuclear scientists working on the Iranian bomb. We also struck at the heart of Iran's ballistic missile program. I want to assure the civilized world, we will not let the world's most dangerous regime get the world's most dangerous weapons. The increasing range of Iran's ballistic missiles would bring that nuclear nightmare to the cities of Europe and eventually to America. Remember, Iran calls Israel the small Satan. It calls America the great Satan. Never again is now. Today, Israel has shown that we have learned the lessons of history. When enemies vow to destroy you, believe them. When enemies build weapons of mass death, stop them. As the Bible teaches us, when someone comes to kill you.
Dunta's response here was a red flag as well. He immediately became defensive and denied his involvement when the detective told him that Mitchell had been killed. An innocent person who actually cared would have shown concern. But Dunta was oblivious to this, and he would only keep digging a bigger hole for himself.
And when was the last time you saw him?
I knew it before September.
There would be no reason for your phone to be at Mitchell Jones's house after September.
No reason.
No reason whatsoever.
Finally, Detective Grimstead had had enough. Dunta had built himself a wall of lies, and now Detective Grimstead was ready to tear it down with every real piece of evidence they had against him.
Most of the time when we ask you a question, we know the answers. You say you haven't been there since September. This puts you at Mitchell's house in November. Back in November, did you cut your foot, ankle?
I cut my foot?
Mm-hmm. You never had an injury? That's yours. Oh, that's not yours.
Even having been confronted by the evidence the police had against him, Dunta still believed that he was smarter than the detective and could lie his way out of trouble. The detectives pressed on with their questioning, knowing that every lie Dunta told them now would be held against him later in court.
Last time you were at Mitchell's house, was there any kind of altercation?
Never had, like, me and dude just hooked him. That was it.
What kind of car do you have? Or drive?
I don't have a car.
How did you come up to meet with him?
I did. I was in my aunt's car.
Your mama have a black car?
My mom?
Mm-hmm.
My mom ain't got no black car.
Did she?
She used to. You were driving a black car. You've been to the house multiple times. Your phone puts you in that same car at the house on those dates. And it puts you in the house that day after Thanksgiving. There's surveillance video from across the street. All right, that's why we know the times. And there's only a 911 phone call. Okay, you know you were there. I was not. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But it was not.
Would there be any reason your blood would be?
My blood? Y'all find my blood. Come.
The detectives once again let Dunta build up his false statements before tearing them down with their carefully crafted facts and evidence. Dunta, however, still hadn't gotten the message and continued to try and deny everything. Sensing that this strategy wasn't working, the detectives tried a different approach.
We know we've both been doing this for a long time, and we know that sometimes things are unintentional.
Something went horribly wrong.
We need to know what happened. It's crazy. Sometimes things happen that we don't intend to happen. We know you've got a lot on your mind.
The officers showed him empathy and tried to encourage him that he would feel better if he shared what had happened. Then they sat in silence and waited for Dunta to crack. Then, after 4 whole minutes of silence, Dunta Holmes finally opened up. This was the moment detectives had been waiting for.
gonna be 100% honest with y'all. I come in the house, people talk to you like, I don't wanna do this. Like, he had his back turned and he turned around and he tried to stab me. And we started fighting. I hit him over the head with a piece of glass and he dropped the knife. And I grabbed the knife. And he was on top of me. So I stabbed him in the back. And he was like, what you did to me? And I just started stabbing him like, so he tried to get up and fought, but he failed.
But Dunta, in his unending foolishness, had decided to continue to try to lie to the detectives. His latest so-called truth was that Mitchell had been the one to attack him, and he had taken his life in self-defense. Dunta had done his best to paint himself in the best possible light, but the detectives weren't buying it. The autopsy results and the fact that Mitchell had 25 individual stab or puncture wounds was enough proof to invalidate his claim of self-defense. Despite his efforts, Dunta Holmes was arrested and charged with the murder of Mitchell Jones Jr. The detectives then began to prepare their evidence for a trial, as until the guilty verdict was secured, they would not feel at peace, especially with the number of times they had already gotten their hopes up. They received a much-needed boost in the days leading up to the trial.
We eventually got his known DNA once he was arrested. It was compared to the DNA blood drop that was found outside the threshold of the door. We did learn that that matched him.
But even with this evidence, there were still concerns about the trial. Though geofence technology had been used in other states, this was the first time it had been used in the state of Georgia. Cobb County prosecutor Jesse Evans was worried about how this could affect the trial.
We knew that we're not only going to have to explain to a judge how geofencing technology works, but we're also going to have to explain this to jurors as well. Whenever you deal with new things, it makes you nervous as a prosecutor.
But then, on the eve of the trial, Prosecutor Evans received a call from Dunta's defense attorney, and he could not believe what he heard.
We receive a phone call from the defense attorney who says that his client is now ready to accept some responsibility for this crime if we were willing to engage in some sort of plea discussions with him.
On January 6, 2020, Dunta Holmes pled guilty to malice murder, aggravated assault, and aggravated battery. He was sentenced to life in prison. But the investigators would receive one last piece of information that would make all their efforts feel worth it.
The defense attorney basically tells Jesse Evans and I why they decided to plead guilty. And there's a couple of reasons. Certainly the fact that Dunta Holmes' DNA matched the blood on the scene. But the one thing the defense attorney told Jesse Evans and I is he felt like he couldn't argue against the technology. And so that largely led to the plea deal.
This case remains one of the landmark cases in terms of geofence technology.
The geofence technology just really sprung this case into life. If it were not for that, there's a possibility it will not be solved.
After this case, geofence technology has only continued to grow in leaps and bounds and has helped solve hundreds of cases in the state of Georgia and across the United States. Mitchell's friends and family are glad that his killer is facing justice behind bars, but they still grieve the loss.
Obviously, we can't get a good look at the face yet. Is it just skull bone? Bite marks.
That's interesting, the way the pantyhose or whatever drips. Yeah.
It was at this moment the cops' worst fears were confirmed with a single horrifying discovery. There was a deranged killer on the loose.
I've never seen anything
like this. We just knew that the suspect had several weeks of a head start on us.
The killer thought he'd gotten away, but little did he know, he was caught on camera.
I wanted to get this guy. It was like my life's mission.
Just when the case seemed unsolvable, the cops found a lead that would change everything.
He broke in the window just about an hour ago.
Were you in bed sleeping?
I was on the couch.
You were on the couch sleeping.
However, the very first chapter of his sinister story revealed a horror so unimaginable that it shook even the most notorious criminals to their core.
Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I mean, I'm no angel. I've never done something like that.
It was 7:36 in the evening of April 7th, 2016, and a homeless woman had just called 911 in Pasco County, Florida. She was looking for cans, but had come across something she was never going to forget.
So you basically ventured in the first time, got cans, came back out, went back in a little deeper, pulled those branches back, and saw what you thought was a dead body. Did you immediately recognize it as a dead body? Okay, no, did you touch anything? No. Okay, did you do anything at all out there other than touch the branch? And you came back out and you called us.
The suspected area was around the woodland of Newport Ricci. Pasco County Sheriff Matthew Adamo was going to investigate the report.
We think we're responding to a standard death investigation call that was relayed to us as a dead homeless male in the woods. We arrive on scene. I activated my body-worn camera. Little did I know what I was walking into.
The initial speculation was that it was a homeless altercation gone wrong, but the detectives soon realized that they were in the middle of something much more disturbing.
If it's a GSW or... He's headless right at this point.
Detectives interviewed the caller, who claimed that a headless body of a man was beside a shopping mall next to a mobile home community. She ran back out immediately, and in doing so, she avoided contaminating the scene. After getting confirmation of the body in the wooded area, the investigative team divided into two. One was to secure the body, and the other one was to look out for evidence.
We want to ensure that we're locating any witnesses before they leave the area or forget what they saw.
I'm going to go all these houses in this little trailer park here. Right. I'll even say back as a week, as far as a week and a half, 2 weeks, if you've seen anything. Right. And can you tell us a white male that bad?
I would say it's a white male. Is he that far in decomp? Yeah. Okay.
Fortunately, the nearest was the Metro PCS store, where they may find something horrific that was caught on camera.
Do you have physical drives here, like actual hard drives to record? No. Do you mind if I take a peek at your system? Can I just look at it, see what kind of system it is? Thank you, I appreciate it.
Simply because we see surveillance video cameras doesn't mean that we're going to get any information from them.
Do you guys have cameras out back? Honestly, I have no idea what this is over for. You could check. Let's see if there's anything on it. I need like 2 weeks worth from today back. Oh, 2 weeks? Yeah. How much is it? I didn't know
The employee took him to the room where the CCTV footage was being recorded, but most of it was erased. The new owners had just bought this building on Friday, because of which everything on camera was erased. In the meantime, a different team of police officers secured the area and cleared the path to the body. Their priority was to identify the victim and draw initial conclusions. The investigators were moments away from a revelation that would redefine their entire search.
It's like a female flip-flop. Might be female, actually.
Walking in a little further, when I got closer to the body, he appeared to have some female clothing on.
Hey, Sarge. Yeah, looks like it might be a female, actually. Yeah, that might be one of her shoes. There's another shoe back there matching.
So that changed a little bit of the dynamic of what we were looking at here.
And there's the other flip-flop just past her.
As they realized the body belonged to a female, right away they had a hunch on who this person could have been.
I wonder if the body is missing female from Newport Ricci. How long ago? The girl Peck, 2015.
21-year-old Brooklyn Peck was reported missing in October of 2015, just over a mile from the wooded area. After a long investigation, police had labeled her as an unsolved case. The search for Brooklyn had worn out, and the hope of finding her safe and sound had died down with it. But when the newly found body appeared on the news, Brooklyn's family had again hoped to gain some kind of closure after 6 agonizing months.
My relationship with Brooklyn was very, very close. More like a daughter to me. Brooklyn was liked by everybody who met her. Everyone who would meet her would say what a lively personality she had. Even if she didn't have something, she would go out of her way to make sure that someone else had something. I have not met one person that had something negative to say about her. She was just genuinely loved by everybody. At the end of the day, what I would like to hear about Brooklyn's disappearance is just closure. If she was murdered, I'd like to know. I mean, you don't ever want to hear the worst, but hearing the worst is better than hearing nothing.
However, the confirmation on whether it was Brooklyn relied on the coroner's report, which would happen after forensics securely got to the body and took it in for a test. But all of that had to wait until the crime scene was thoroughly investigated and the true location of the body was playing a number on them.
We're going to make a pass, and then you guys will be able to come back.
Let's
Stump right here. Yeah, let me open up some of these branches. I'm going to cut this branch, so if you could just hold it here in the event that it doesn't fall on the body.
Around 9:05 in the evening, they finally were able to take a closer look at the body. Little did the officers know, they were about to encounter one of the worst discoveries of their lifetimes.
This was one of the more brutal scenes I had been to.
In this case, we believe that there was foul play involved. There was evidence of blunt force trauma to her head.
And obviously we can't get a good look at the face yet. Is it just skull bone?
Normally, if a body's found, one indication that they were robbed could be that they're not wearing any jewelry.
Looking at the position of the body, jewelry, they didn't take the ring, so
nope.
It had nothing to do with that.
Nope.
Her dress was pulled over her face. Her stockings were ripped.
Yeah, but this poor person's been out a while.
The investigators noticed that she still had jewelry on, suggesting that it wasn't a robbery gone wrong. Her clothes were pulled over her face, and her face was brutally massacred to the point of being unrecognizable. The police also observed her ripped stockings, leading them to suspect that this crime scene was not just a dumping ground. This was the exact place the victim had lost her life. She was brought here and murdered.
To think that another human being would do this to a person and leave them without an identity or without any cause or care for that person was very disturbing.
They knew one thing for sure. The investigation was not going to be easy.
Her toenails did and everything. See, like animals ate those toes off.
There was some trash on the ground, and we had to decipher through what was evidence and what was not evidence. Early in the investigation, there were some difficulties that we faced, like we didn't have the decedent positively identified. We didn't have any suspects, any motives. We just knew that the suspect had several weeks of a head start on us.
Whether it was Brooklyn or not, the victim had suffered the most horrible last moments. In fact, this would be the most horrifying case of SA the detectives had ever witnessed.
She didn't place her dress over her head. She didn't position herself to where her legs were in a V shape. Her legs were posed in a manner that's consistent with a full battery.
That's interesting, the way the pantyhose or whatever dripped.
Yeah. Bite marks.
We ended up getting word from the medical examiner's office that the cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head.
The investigators knew they'd witnessed the aftermath of a disturbing, sexually depraved fantasy. It's here that the true disturbing story would start to unfold.
Well, with the weather we've had, it could speed up the decomposition.
As for the identity of the Jane Doe, Brooklyn Peck was their closest bet. While the body was processed for forensic analysis, the detectives poured themselves deep into Brooklyn's case file. That is where they made a grim discovery. Even before the forensic report negated the connection between the body and Brooklyn, they detected a physical feature that made it impossible to be Brooklyn. This was one of the many movie-like twists in this case. Brooklyn was missing the tip of her pointer finger on her left hand, while the recovered body had the tip intact.
At this point, we realized that the decedent was not Brooklyn Peck.
When we heard that this wasn't Brooklyn, we had a whole different range of emotions. We went from being happy and relieved that it wasn't her to also being sad that it wasn't her, because we were kind of hoping at this point that we would have some closure.
The attempt to make a positive identity of Jane Doe was back to zero. The next daunting task was to comb through the missing persons reports of the month until they found a positive match. They began a rigorous search through recent missing persons reports, determined to find the woman's identity and, if possible, bring closure to yet another family waiting for answers. As they worked their way through records, they finally had found a match. A woman reported missing only weeks prior who bore a striking resemblance to the body they'd recovered.
Not unlike her to disappear for a few days, but it is unusual not to hear from her. This week, they filed a missing persons report with the Maine State Police, who say they have notified authorities down in Florida.
With this identification, the detectives realized they were beginning a new investigation altogether. The body belonged to 52-year-old Judith Therianos. This grandmother had been missing for over a month now, and her family was just as desperate as Brooklyn's. They knew that uncovering what happened to this woman would require a delicate balance of forensic precision and unyielding determination, and perhaps a little luck. While Brooklyn's case remained open, their focus now shifted to unraveling the truth behind Judith's horrible fate.
Judy and I took a road trip down to Florida to visit our friend who had cancer. She stayed behind. To take care of her, and I returned back to Maine.
What's up, Laggy?
Judy and I got referred to as mother and daughter because our age difference is about 20 years, but that didn't stop us. Our friendship was more like soul sisters.
Judith was not a resident of Newport Richey. She was merely a visitor. She traveled there with a friend to see another friend who was battling cancer. Tragically, she never returned home.
I was leaving to go north, and I said, be careful, and don't be stupid. That, just watch your back.
The medical examiner's office was able to get a fingerprint from the deceased person, and they were able to determine that our deceased was Judith Therianos.
When detectives finally identified Judith, they also gained a crucial lead from the CCTV footage gathered from the area, breathing life back into the case.
We separated into groups. A few detectives went to locate her last known whereabouts, and a couple of us went to a convenience store to obtain video. We concentrated on a convenience store and several other businesses in the area.
The first surveillance video that we located was her purchasing alcohol in a convenience store nearby an area that she was known to frequent.
In the surveillance video footage, we observed Judith purchasing her items. At the time, she was seen accompanied by another person.
The footage showed her buying alcohol at a nearby convenience store while accompanied by an unidentified man. And with that, the police now had a suspect to follow. A suspect that potentially held the answers to this perplexing mystery.
When we located the surveillance video of Judith in the convenience store with the male, we didn't know if he was responsible for her death or if he was another just acquaintance of her. Maybe he can assist us with the investigation.
Identifying this man became the top priority as he was the last person seen with Judith. Unfortunately, DNA evidence collected from the crime scene yielded no matches in the system, meaning he wasn't registered. The detective's only option was to canvass the neighborhood. Equipped with nothing but a description and photo of the man, they returned to the trailer park, knocking on as many doors as possible in the hope that someone could recognize their primary suspect.
I guess I'll start out with you first. We're conducting a death investigation. Right here in this wood line, there's a badly decomposed body that was just found.
Is that fucking stinking back there? I'm telling you, I fucking smell some bad back there.
Okay, it's probably the dead body. It looks to be about 2 weeks old. A white male, and he's got a red shopper cart next to him. If he's seen anything in the past 2 weeks,
about 3 weeks ago, I seen there was a white male back there. He had brought like food and shit like that in the shopping cart, and I left him alone because, you know. Did he look homeless? Yeah. Have you seen anything in the past 2 weeks? Heard anything in the past 2 weeks? No.
Everyone gave vague descriptions indicating either that they didn't know what happened or they didn't want to talk to the police. The closest they got was to a man named Grizzly, who not only had information, but also evidence.
We received information that there was a man named Grizzly who lived nearby in a mobile home park, that he had known Judith. So we had gone to speak with him to see if he had any kind of information that could assist with this investigation.
Come on in. Here's my messy hat.
Alright.
I'm a bachelor.
Really? Yeah.
All right. And I figured I better do the right thing.
Thank you.
Because I don't want to be known as a
I get it.
We understand, Tucker.
He had information that went beyond simple hearsay and even presented them with tangible evidence. He told the police that he barely knew the man, but gave him a shelter to stay for a couple of days.
short hair, brush cut type of deal.
He also informed the detectives that this man had left behind his bag.
But these are the clothes that were under the bed in this bag.
Okay.
When we collected those items, we examined them and we believed that it was the same shirt and the same backpack that was in the surveillance video at the convenience store while she was with the man.
Grizzly's revelation was a crucial break in the case, as it directly tied the suspect's attire to the scene. However, Grizzly's knowledge came to an abrupt halt there. He claimed he didn't know much about the suspect beyond the fact that he seemed anxious, almost paranoid, and in a hurry to leave town. According to Grizzly, the man had talked about buying a one-way ticket to Chicago, but hadn't offered any personal details or even a name.
He sold his vehicle for a plane ticket.
You don't know where the plane ticket was for, though?
Chicago, that's all he said.
But it's here detectives were about to get an unexpected lead, and it unfolded in a manner that made the mystery even more unsettling.
After we spoke to Grizzly, I was walking back to my car.
Hi, brother.
A man named Stefan said, "Hey, detective, can I talk to you about the IRS?" And he gave me a wink as he said it to me, which made me believe that he didn't want to talk to me about the IRS and he probably had more information.
The cops sensed a possibility of a lead so impactful that it could crack open the case entirely. They were at a make-or-break moment in their investigation, so they quickly assured him that anything he disclosed would be handled with the utmost confidentiality and protection. That was when Stefan talked.
Well, you know where the dollar store is over there in the,
Yes.
liquor store? I'm guessing it was about 6 p.m. And me and he walked with me to get cigarettes at the liquor store. We came out, and she was on the side of the dollar store, kind of leaning against the wall. I waved to her and he goes, "Who's that?" And I said, "That's Judy."
Stefan knew not only Judith, but also the mystery man. According to Stefan, his name was Timothy. It was when he was with Timothy at a convenience store, Timothy had expressed his curiosity about Judy. With Grizzly's evidence tying the mystery man to the scene, and now Stefan's implied willingness to reveal something huge, the investigators were nearer to the bottom of the truth than ever. Stefan was on the brink of revealing something that would finally unravel the mystery once and for all.
Who knows what's in somebody's head? I guess he wanted to confide in me. He says, "Can I tell you something really bad that I did?" I said, "I guess, unless you killed her." He goes, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about." And I panicked. I got up and I started pacing. "Oh my God, I said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." I said, "Yeah, how do you think I feel?" And I didn't want to hear no more. At that point, I was freaking out. And then he went on to say something about getting a rush from doing it.
The mystery man was finally identified, but this was just the beginning of what Stefan was about to reveal.
He said, "Yeah, I've been back to the spot 2 times with alcohol."
And when he said alcohol, did he meant like drinking alcohol?
Drinking alcohol. I got the feeling that he meant alcohol to clean,
kind of like
clean up or whatever.
Like a peroxide type of a thing, like rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
At the scene, we located a rubbing alcohol bottle. At the time, we didn't know the significance of it. Now we know that He took rubbing alcohol and poured it on her body in an attempt to conceal his identity by killing the DNA.
Starting that night, I'm like freaking out. I couldn't sleep for days. I barricaded my door. I sleep with a knife under my pillow. I sleep with my phone right in my hand.
How long have you known him for? When did you first meet him?
About a week before he confided in me.
So you've only known him for a short period of time?
Let me stop you, I'm so sorry. When you say you and him, who is that?
Tim.
Stefan identified the man as Timothy Johnson.
I wish I could give you more, but...
Now you benefit help.
Very good.
Timothy had expressed his interest in Judith, but within a couple of hours, the interest would take a deadly turn. The detectives were moments away from a discovery that would rewrite the story entirely.
It was a huge turning point for us because it felt like we were getting closer to figuring out who had killed Judith.
Detectives did a background check on Timothy Johnson, and they found that he'd been previously arrested 4 times in Florida for aggravated battery, domestic battery, and 2 times for failure to appear in court.
Just go on and spread your legs for me. Nothing else on you, right? That I didn't catch?
Interestingly, one of those aggravated assault arrests took place 3 weeks before Judith's body was discovered.
Nothing in your waistband, nothing like that?
He was drinking heavily and broke into a woman's home late at night. But more importantly, this meant that he was already in the police's custody.
Jason.
He broke in the window just about an hour ago.
Were you in bed sleeping?
I was on the couch.
You were on the couch sleeping.
He comes around the hallway with a knife in his hand. Threatens to cut me up and everything. You can't leave him here. You guys can't leave him here and kill me.
Timothy Johnson was so cold-hearted and didn't show any type of remorse about the crimes that he had committed.
Now that the detectives are armed with witness statements, CCTV footage, and evidence that puts him near the crime scene, the detectives will cut straight to the elephant in the room. The video evidence alone was significant. It captured Timothy near the crime scene around the time Judith was killed, with witnesses also recalling his erratic behavior and interactions with Judith in the days leading up to her death. With these pieces coming together, the detectives were prepared to build a solid case, knowing that Timothy's violent history provided context and weight to the
Looking good? Yo, thank you, brother.
current charges. The cops felt that they'd finally found the cold-blooded killer, but when the detectives went to the prison to interrogate him, little did they know this was just the beginning.
How you doing, Timothy? My name's Detective Lucius. My partner's Detective Burbridge. Okay. You're not in any trouble right now, but I have to read your Miranda, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
At that point, I was nervous too because I wanted to make sure I didn't screw it up. I wanted to get this guy. It was like my life's mission.
I have a picture of you with a person named Judith Theranos. Okay?
Yeah.
So obviously you guys are hanging out. How did you know her?
She used to go around the neighborhood I was staying at.
As they delved deeper, detectives realized they weren't just investigating a single murder. They were unraveling a pattern of escalating violence, and Johnson's arrest history hinted at a man accustomed to escaping serious repercussions for his actions.
While talking to Timothy, we were able to realize that this is not his first rodeo. When he spoke to us, he was calm, pretty soft-spoken. He didn't appear to be aggressive. This was not the first time he's been interviewed by law enforcement.
Do you know anything about her death? When was the last time you saw her?
Somewhere around March.
Up until now, have you heard that she died?
Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it, yeah.
So you don't know her on a personal level. Is it somebody you would have hung out with?
Just, yeah. We did have sex, but just regular sex.
He admitted that he knew Judith, then he admitted to having sex with her. So we knew as detectives that we were getting closer to having him confess to murdering Judith.
They thought they were nearing a confession, but they were in for a surprise.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and cut to the chase because we know that you killed her. Okay, I can tell you right now. We know that you killed her. So what can you tell us with regards to that?
And here's where I'm at with this. I know that you're lying, obviously. We're trying to give you the opportunity to explain what happened, why it happened. We think that during your guys' consensual sex it escalated, and then it turned to the point where you killed her.
I think it was an accident. That's really what I think.
Am I allowed to have my lawyer present?
If he wants to, sure.
It wasn't until after he was charged with first-degree murder, formally booked, and placed within the prison walls that he finally confessed to his actions, but not to the investigators. Instead, he talked to another prisoner.
We were sitting down talking, and he told me he was having with her.
Okay.
She wanted him to stop. He didn't want to stop. He said he choked her.
The informant was able to provide us with specific details.
She passed out. He said at that point he got scared. He pulled her shirt over her head. He hit her with some kind of board.
He knew where it happened. He was able to provide us information that he had sex with her near a dumpster and that he left her body in the wooded area.
After suffocating her to death and bashing her face in, he left to a place that could make anyone's skin crawl.
I obtained surveillance video footage of him at the restaurant eating, and it was the same time as the transaction on Judith's credit card.
Timothy was just sitting there nonchalantly. He wasn't panicked. He wasn't freaking out. It was like nothing ever happened to him.
Timothy swallowed down some waffles with his victim's stolen credit card. What he planned to do next would forever haunt. But no one dared imagine.
He said he went back and had sex with her again. And I was like, really? Wow.
During all of the investigations that I've worked, I've never seen anything like this.
I want to know the truth. It sickens me. I mean, I'm no angel. I've never done something like that.
Timothy Johnson was sentenced for a lifetime. In remembering Judith Therianos, we honor her life and advocate for a world where every individual is treated with dignity and respect, ensuring that no one else becomes a victim of such senseless violence.
We always see the worst in humanity. So nothing really surprises me. So this was sick and it was disturbing, but it wasn't something that I was. No, that's a lie. I was impacted by it. I had nightmares, but not so much because of him, but because her last moments were really terrible.
I'm thankful and I'm grateful to have closure, but my heart goes out to the families that don't have that closure, that they're always wondering and have that hope that maybe their loved one will just reappear.
The timing and nature of this confession sparked countless debates, leaving investigators and the public alike to wonder, was he grappling with guilt, or was there a darker side to his selective silence? Let us know in the comment section below. And if you found today's video interesting, please consider subscribing to our channel, hit that like button, and share our videos. Also, if you have any crime story that you'd like us to cover, leave us a message in the comment section below.
I'm not getting in that car. Bro, get the bro, fuck me. Ground, just go to ground. Stop resisting. Congratulations, it's called a felony.
On November 19th, 2023, officers responded to Walmart in reference to an assault. Where's my victim?
Oh, she's in office.
Okay.
Perfect. Sorry about that.
I just gotta make sure all the ducks are in a row. Yeah, other units are going that way.
Yeah.
So is she a victim here?
Yeah, she works here.
She works here, okay.
Right now in my office with another manager.
Okay. Does she know this man or you don't know?
She said she spoke to him twice.
Okay.
That's where he works.
Okay.
I think she avoided him twice at some point.
Okay.
And I guess he's not taking a hit, so came in oblivious to us because we were not even aware that he walked in the office. And here.
Oh, in the office?
In the office.
So you witnessed it?
Yes.
Okay. And you had video of it?
Yes.
Okay.
So sorry if I'm gonna
No, you're fine.
That's just happened.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get up quick enough because
no,
we're in the way.
I understand. I've been there twice.
Christina?
How did he know she was in here?
Because she walked in.
Oh, he followed her. Okay. Do you need the fire department to check you out? The bag of peas is okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what happened?
So the other day when I went over there, I had cashed out a scratch off.
Over where?
To Wawa's.
Okay.
He worked at Wawa's.
Okay.
And I cashed out a scratch off, right? And then so I thought he like cashed it out. So I asked another lady to come see if he cashed it out or not because they didn't have enough money to cash it out. And today when I went in there, he like, oh, you accused me of trying to steal your money off your scratch off. And I was like, I never accused you of nothing. And I was like, you being so rude. So I went over to his manager and I was like, he's being so rude. And she was like, okay, I'll handle him. And one of my managers was over there in Wawa's. It was Kanya and Deanna was over there. And I was like, oh, he always rude. And Deanna, she was like, I never seen him in here before.
Okay.
And then I came back here and I came in here to get the jacket and he like just walked in here and punched me in my face.
Okay. And you don't know him besides the two times you've been to
Wawa's? That's it.
Okay. So you don't know his name or anything?
No, I don't even know him.
Okay.
It's okay. It's crazy though, like he just...
I'm not getting in that car. Bro, get the bro.
Trump's now being hit by Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and Dave Smith over a U.S. attack on Iran, with some of his allies and fans now calling for him to be impeached. Also, is the Israel-Iran situation spiraling out of control? Netanyahu wants a war-ending weapon that only the United States has, and Trump might be the first president that's actually willing to hand it over. We need to talk about how a man with a hit list killed 2 Democrats, but then right-wing influencers and senators still tried to sell him as a leftist assassin, because this is just going to keep getting worse. We're jumping into all that and much more on today's brand new extra-large Philip DeFranco show. You daily dive into the news, starting with this. The Israel-Iran situation, it's just getting worse, and now you have the world waiting to see what Donald Trump is gonna do. Right? Is he gonna get the deal that he claimed he would? Will he just stay out of it, or will the US get involved in another war in the Middle East? And while I have my opinions on how this is gonna play out based off of the things that we're seeing right now, the truth is we truly just don't know yet. But to first at least fully understand the question at hand, I mean, we gotta talk about what has exactly happened so far, what Israel's aims are, and why one of those aims may not be possible without the help of the United States. Right, so where we should start is where things kicked off last Friday when you had Israel starting attacking nuclear and military facilities across Iran, as well as assassinating top military commanders and nuclear scientists, with Israeli PM Netanyahu saying that Israel had discovered an imminent threat requiring preemptive action, with him specifically saying that new intelligence indicated that Iran was on the verge of turning its fuel stockpile into weapons. So then with that, we saw Israel expanding its campaign beyond obvious military and nuclear targets, with them taking aim at energy infrastructure, manufacturing, aviation facilities, and even the headquarters of Iran's state broadcaster. And with that, you first had Israeli military issuing an evacuation order to residents of a large area of Tehran. And actually, in that part of the city, you had a news anchor being live on the air when an explosion shook the building, with then other videos and images from the scene showing the building on fire. And then you had the Israeli military later saying in a statement that its Air Force struck the building to target what it called a communication center being used by the Iranian military, quote, under the guise of civilian activity. A claim that I'll say could not be independently verified. But either way there, with Tehran continuing to come under fire, the death toll total is reportedly rising to at least 450, and we've just seen more and more people fleeing, with traffic massively backing up on the main highway heading out of the city. And of course, as that's playing out, we're seeing Iran doing its best to retaliate, launching wave after wave of missiles at Israel. While many have fallen short or been intercepted, there's also been a lot of damage and at least 24 killed. And with that, I'll say, notably here, at least as of recording, Israel's ability to provide civilians with a 15 to 30 minute warning ahead of incoming Iranian strikes, which it had been doing since the start of the conflict, it's reportedly been limited. Right? And while it's not clear yet why, you had at least one Israeli officer recommending that people spend the night in shelters or close to a safe space. And then, regarding the back and forth back in Iran, you had...
Hello? Taco Tuesday, bud. At 3? Yeah. Alright. You're not? What are you gonna do about dinner? Oh, alright. No, it's too much, but... Alright, bye.
Israel today carrying out even more airstrikes against drone and missile infrastructure, including launchers in the western part of the country. And that is, they're also claiming to have killed the man described as the most senior military commander in Iran, though notably he had only been in his job for about 4 days after Iran's supreme leader appointed him to replace the predecessor who was killed by Israel on Friday. Also, regarding the strikes, we're now learning that an Israeli attack against an Iranian nuclear facility last Friday may have actually done more damage than initially thought. The UN nuclear watchdog today saying that it had identified direct impacts on the underground enrichment halls, while it had only at first been able to identify above ground damage. So in some ways, you have experts saying that it doesn't really matter either way. And that because even if Israel obliterated the facility that got mentioned there, the Fordo nuclear site would still be left standing. And that it's Iran's most heavily fortified nuclear site.